Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
And here we go on a Monday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan for the next 2 weeks. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, and our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. Bobo, we have made it through the NFL Draft. Happy Monday to you on what was a spectacular weekend here in Central Ohio. What's going on, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Oh, great to talk to you, Beamer. Excited about life. About to be in here with you. Starting our voyage here as our final countdown is underway with 2 weeks to go.
Yep.
And nice little eventful draft to get going to as well.
Lots of Buckeyes.
Lots of fun stuff.
Brownies making some interesting moves. Getting a lot of really good football players, tell you that much.
Yeah.
So all kinds of good stuff that was happening over the weekend. Yeah, draft was great, I thought. Had a great time watching that on Friday evening. Oh, no, Shedeur's falling. He didn't have to wait too long, though, because then we got into Saturday, and boom, all of a sudden, he goes to the Cleveland Browns after they'd taken Dylan Gabriel in the third round. So we got a lot to unpack today.
Oh, lots and lots. I couldn't have made him. Fairly shocked that Dylan Gabriel went as high as he did, but you never know, Beam. It's a weird thing. I always tell people the draft, people look at it as if it's one entity, the draft is spoken, but it's a collective of 32 separate NFL teams doing what they deem is in the best interest for them. So it's not a one organization making these decisions. It's a multitude of groups and their evaluation process and how that looks and how that ultimately goes. Well, then you find out on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
We got a great show lined up for you here this morning. Get into the Buckeyes in the draft, where all 14 of those players ended up landing, some undrafted free agents as well signing over the weekend. So talk some Buckeyes getting in here in our next segment. Bill Bender, the Sporting News, he's going to join the program. We'll recap the draft with him. 7:30, Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row. From a Buckeyes perspective, how does he feel like Ohio State did in the draft? He's coming up at 7:30. And then, of course, as always, every single Monday at 8:30, Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program. Before we hop into anything else today, it is Monday. It's the 28th day of April, 2025. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Robert. We got lined up for us today, big dog.
Oh, goodness. We have got a lot going on today. It is Monday, April 28th, the final Monday of the month, 118th day of the year, 247 days remaining in this 2025 and 9 more days left of Morning Juice on terrestrial airwaves. This date, 1923, Wembley Stadium is opened for the first time. Back then, Beam, it was called Empire Stadium.
All right.
What is the significance of the name Wembley? Do you know?
I don't know the significance of the name Wembley. I do not.
Figured you would be my guy to answer that question.
Yeah, I don't know the historical relevance of the name of the stadium. I mean, I know that it is the English National Stadium, and it is the biggest stadium in Europe, but I don't know the name behind it.
Isn't it in Wembley?
In Wembley, London?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh.
It might be. It might just be in the town.
I thought it was in the town of Wembley.
Yeah, it was originally called Empire Stadium and then changed it. Maybe in like 2 weeks you'll be able to find out the answer with this. Let's say 1952, Eisenhower resigns as Supreme Allied Commander of NATO. He got the 5 stars up on there to start his presidential campaign. This date, 1956, the Cincinnati Reds, Frank Robinson hits his first of 586 home runs.
On this date in MLB, 1956, future Hall of Famer Frank Robinson collects his first Major League home run. By the end of his career, Robinson will have amassed 586 home runs. Here are some of Robinson's rookie stats. He was 20 years old. He played in 152 games. In those games, he compiled 667 plate appearances, 122 runs, 166 hits, 27 doubles, 6 triples, 38 home runs, 83 RBI, 64 walks, and 8 stolen bases. All of that amounted to a batting average of .290 and an OPS of .936.
Not bad.
Not too bad at all.
By the way, Sharky, address, Wembley Stadium, Southway, Wembley, HA90WS. You got it. It's the town.
Good job, sir. Then 15 years later, in 1971, Hank Aaron hits his 600th home run en route to his 755. 1973, The Dark Side of the Moon becomes the #1 album and beginning its record-breaking. You know how many weeks it was on the Billboard, Beam?
On the Billboard or at number one?
Not at number one, but on the Billboard.
Like a year and a half?
Shark?
It was like 700 weeks.
741 weeks. Pretty nice little run right there. You know,
On this day in 1973.
years?
yeah.
Jeez.
On this day in 1973, Pink Floyd's iconic album, The Dark Side of the Moon, hit #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. The album, which explores themes of life, death, and mental health, became one of the best-selling albums of all time and solidified Pink Floyd's place in rock history.
The time is gone, the song is over, thought I'd something more to say.
There we go.
Get stoned together and listen to that, Shark.
Absolutely. Shark does that by himself, but
It's true.
he always likes to be part of a team, you know. Mm-hmm. I like that about you, Shark.
He likes the congruency.
He does. Big team guy. You know, it could be your vision or someone else's vision or our vision together, which is what I always like to do. Put it together.
All in all, Bob, I'm just another brick in the wall.
Very true. Ohio State, Ryan Day stacking those bricks, ultimately got him a national title. 1974, Grand Funk, The Locomotion hits #1.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. I know you get to like it if you...
What year did you say that was?
1974.
Man, that's a banger.
Oh, 51 years ago, Beam, getting that done. This date, 1985, Billy Martin is named New York Yankees manager. Significance of it, Beam, it was the 4th time he was named to that position.
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Prior to the game, Martin held court with the press, and while he did acknowledge that not all of his players were happy to see him back, he left no doubt that he is now the man in charge.
Most important thing right now is getting them to realize that they're not doing their job. They got to start just worrying about the Yankees instead of who the manager is.
While the players would not openly criticize Steinbrenner's change in the dugout, many, like team leader Willie Randolph, felt the move wasn't really necessary.
I don't think just the change is going to, like to be a shot in the arm or anything like that. I don't think we really need that. We just need a few breaks here and there. We could have done that with Yogi.
Was it Yogi Berra was the manager that he replaced?
Yeah.
Obviously. I didn't know if there was another Yogi out there. Figured that he might have been the most likely choice in that scenario.
A one-time World Series champion as a manager. Billy Martin.
There you go. This date, 1986. High levels of radiation are detected in Sweden, forcing the Soviet Union to address the Chernobyl disaster on this date, 1986.
How'd that go for them?
Not good. Not good at all. They did actually manage to save most of Europe with it, but it was absolutely a debacle of epic proportion. That was one of the more interesting little mini-series that they had on Max.
That's
it was
really good.
Very, very good. And then in 2003, 22 years ago, Apple launched iTunes to help support its iPod. Not the pad, not the phone, but the pod. Getting it done for you. Some birthdays today. Born in this state, 1758. James Monroe, Shark, was what number president?
Jimmy was number 5.
There you go. Well done, sir. He was part of a nice little run of Virginians that they had in order there. 1926. Harper Lee was born, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Mm-hmm.
Saddam Hussein, born on this date, 1937. One of Shark's guys. Where are you putting him up there, Shark? We've got Stalin, you've got Hitler, you got Pol Pot, you got Saddam. I mean,
I wasn't a big Saddam fan. He was kind of was greasy, you know?
Too crass for you.
I thought he was great, though, in, was it Naked Gun 2.5 that he was in?
Yes, loved the hairy chest.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. I think that was 2.5, if I'm not mistaken. Jay Leno, funny man, turning 75 today.
Since you're going to be here on kind of a regular basis, is that going to cut down on your traveling?
No, I'll still fly out. I'll still be out 4 or 5 nights a week doing that.
Yeah.
It used to be Delta, the airline run by professionals. Then I think 2 years ago it went to Delta, we're ready when you are.
Right.
The new slogan, this is the one they've been using, Delta, we get you there. Oh, shut up, sit down. We'll get you there. You know my biggest fear? I always get stuck in that stupid middle seat.
There are 2 on one side and 3 on the other.
I get stuck between the screaming baby with diarrhea and the octogenarian with halitosis. You know, we look like the 3 ages of man winging through time.
There we go. Barry Larkin turning 61 today.
Drive to left field. It's going to be a 3-2 game.
And that's the home run he was looking for.
He's the first 30-30 shortstop in the history of Major League Baseball. It couldn't happen to a better guy. He already has 36 steals. That's his 30th homer of the year. And a hug from Eric Davis, who's a 30-30 kind of guy.
All-timer for me. Mount Rushmore Red.
There we go. Barry Larkin, one of the best, in all World Series champion being back in 1990. And then turning 44 today, Jessica Alba.
On all of my downtime, I would hit spas. And right outside of Santa Fe, they have this spa. And I think it's like a swingers nudist spa.
Ooh.
When you get there, they're like, the communal tub is right over here, and the changing room is over here. And we're like, oh, okay, but we didn't bring our bathing suits. And they're like, nobody wears bathing suits. Okay, is it men and women? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Lots of grown men that are with their wives, and they're all naked and showing their business. And they're like, they're like natural, so it's not like that trim. So you see a lot of things that you want to choose to see somebody naked. That's not a choice.
What's the address of that place? Did she ever say?
That's pretty great. So it sounds like she got in it then.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, she didn't overtly admit to it, but she was describing what was in there, and if it was a more naturalistic place.
Good for her. Good for them.
I don't know what she looks like today, but
she
was one of the most beautiful women on the planet.
She is holding her own still, Shark. She didn't fall apart. Let's just put it like that. The end of her career looked a lot like the beginning. Some holidays, if you going to pull her up there.
Yeah, she's still looking good. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, don't fret for her. She's
doing just fine.
She's doing just fine. Some holidays observances today. It is Kiss Your Mate Day, Blueberry Pie Day. How about that? National Superhero Day. It's not even Woody Hayes' birthday, but it's Pay It Forward Day, Shark. How about that? And World Day and Safety and Health Day at Work Day. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, April 28th, 118th day of the year, 247 days remaining in 2025, and 9 more days left of this iteration of Morning Juice.
Good job. And then, Bob, as always, Buckeyes tied a school record for draft picks over the weekend. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Early Monday commuters will find traffic definitely still on the lighter side. A couple of slow spots, though. There is an accident in US 33 eastbound at Avery Muirfield Drive. Your left lane is blocked here, so that does cause some slowdowns. On the west side, on I-70 westbound between Hilliard Rome Road and State Route 142, we have construction and the 2 left lanes are blocked here until early in July. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina. It's boat season at Buckeye Lake Marina. Largest new and used boat inventory in the 3-county region. Details and more at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com. You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since TrueHold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit TrueHold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Guess what? It's driving season, friends, and my friends at Jermaine Lexus are ready for you with their most popular models on the lot and ready to go with special APRs as low as 3.99% up to 48 months or 4.49% up to 60 months with low lease payments starting at $389 per month on the 2025 NX. And if you're looking for a TX, they're finally available for immediate delivery. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, you're the Carfax guy.
The Carfax from Carfax.
Wow.
And you, sir, work at Tire Discounters.
I sure do.
The Carfax top-rated service center.
Oh, right. You know, a lot of that's because of our services. But people think we're just about tires.
Maybe it's your name.
Yeah.
Tire Discounters. And your jingle.
Oh, you like it?
I think it needs something.
Yeah? Like what?
Hit it. Plus brakes, oil changes, shocks, and struts, and more. Now that speaks to me.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Mix and match 5 or more items for just 99 cents each with your card. Choose Campbell's Soup, Kroger brand pasta, North Sides, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move, a pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Are you in need of basic dental treatment but can't afford the cost? There may be a solution. Hi, I'm Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, and I'm excited to tell you about a program called Dental Options. Dental Options is a partnership between the Ohio Dental Association and the Ohio Department of Health in which qualifying patients can be paired with a dentist to receive discounted or even free dental care. Eligibility for the program is based on your financial situation. For more information or to apply, call 1-888-765-6789.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
You may need a light jacket in the morning with wake-up temperatures in the low 40s, but not in the afternoon as our highs soar into the low 80s with plenty of sunshine. Mostly clear skies tonight, lows in the 60s, and then for Tuesday, afternoon highs in the 80s with breezy winds, with the chances of strong to severe storms developing late afternoon to early evening. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hey, we may have handed out some bold draft predictions last week. Missed them all. But how about a bolder prediction? An opportunity, one might say. How about setting a goal to lose 40 pounds by the 4th with Awaken 180? We are about 8 weeks away from the 4th of July, actually 9 weeks away yesterday. It's got a different ring to it when you can be down 40 pounds by the 4th with Awaken 180. It's got a totally different ring to it. You have got a finish line, 40 by the 4th. Imagine this. Your scale shows 230 today. How about watching that bad boy dip to a cool 190 by Independence Day? Or maybe it was over 300 like my scale did. How would it feel seeing 260 by the 4th? And oh yeah, by the way, on track to losing over 70 pounds like I did with Awaken 180. Looking back, it took me 8 weeks to drop my first 40 pounds. And with the same results, you're going to crush that goal by the 4th. Then ring in Independence Day, shirt off, confident, cracked beer, and a burger in hand. Celebrate reaching your goal knowing you'll keep the weight off thanks to free support for life. Again, 40 by the 4th. Set your goal and attain it. Your long-term solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com. Sun's out, guns out. Going to be feeling good. Pool season, pond season, communal bath season. Gotta get ready to rock.
I love that. I love that communal bath.
Yeah, who doesn't?
You know, I mean, just
sounds awesome.
Shark,
Kind of what a hot tub is.
Well, 100%. A communal bath is just a giant hot tub. You know what I'm kind of envisioning there, Beam, is that, like, you remember the old school steam rooms? Maybe in like a movie like Eastern Promises, or even maybe like The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, I remember that steam room had an interesting vibe to it.
Yeah, I mean,
great movie recommendation, by the way.
You enjoyed it?
I loved it. I finished it up on Friday.
How good when you start...
It's a good payoff pitch.
Don't rob me of my hate.
Yeah. That's everything I loved in life was my hatred.
So good. Shark, you've seen Count of Monte Cristo, haven't you?
Dantes?
Yeah.
No, it can't be true.
Yeah. Seen it a couple times.
Really good.
An honor given for a gentleman.
I mean, really solid movie.
How about when he goes to the pistol and then he just pops his head up into the whole wagon there at the end?
It's amazing.
You think I was going to let you off that easy?
God, it was so good. Enjoy the Chateau d'If, my friend, where I spent 13 years of my life. We knew the Buckeyes had 3 players taken in the first round. 4 players taken in the first round. Don't want to rob them of that. Josh Simmons going with the last pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. Tyleek Williams at 28 to the Lions. Donovan Jackson at 24 to the Minnesota Vikings. And then the first pick of your 2024 Buckeyes was Emeka Egbuka going number 19 from the Buckeyes to the Bucks. And then swiftly following the draft, how about this? We didn't know in which order the running backs were going to go. Both of them going quickly on Friday night. Quinshawn and Travion both going at 36 and 38. Quinshawn scooped up by the Browns at 36, and Trey going 38 to the New England Patriots. Those two fellas were off the board rather quickly. And then your last Buckeye to be taken on Friday was JT Tuimoloau by the Indianapolis Colts. I thought, first of all, before I know we're going to talk a lot of Browns today, the Colts had a really good draft. All right, If you're looking at just drafts in general, I thought the Colts did a really good job. But Quinshawn going to the Browns, all right, cool. Get to watch that guy for a few more years here in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice to see that for Q. And you talked about staying home and being here. So it would have been from pick 19 to, I believe, 47. Beam. So what is that? About 30 some oddish picks. You had 7 Ohio State players drafted.
That's a lot.
I mean, that was a beefy run that they had right there. Then a little bit of a pause, and then you get into the 4th round, and you had another big run as well. But I want to say, what was Jack? What number?
Jack was 123.
So, but even from like 19 to 123, so over that 100 picks, like we were talking about, basically, that would be 10 guys over 100 picks.
Yeah.
That was that big run that we said we thought would happen in the middle. I was surprised that the Browns took Quinshawn over Trey.
Yeah, me too.
So were the betting odds. Did you see any of this, Shark, coming down at the teams that you could get odds on who would be the 33rd overall pick?
No.
So some of the betting odds coming in. Who do you think the number one odds for 33rd pick?
Will Johnson.
No. Come on. It's the guy you couldn't escape all draft.
Oh, Shedeur.
Exactly.
Well, you ended up getting him. What a great value
pick.
pick.
The irony is that Shedeur was even money to go at 33.
Wow.
Even money. Here's the best part. Cleveland was minus 150 to draft him.
Granted, they did have the 33rd pick.
They had the 33rd pick, but you still would have cashed even if they passed on him there.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable because maybe you're thinking, you'll get him with that second one.
You get him with 36.
Or you could just let that
get him at 123.
There you go. Scrolly fun time, and you'll get him a little bit later.
Absolutely.
Mason Taylor was second. I mean, this is how dramatically it jumped, Shark. Mason Taylor was second at plus 650, the tight end out of LSU.
Also slid.
Jalen Midrow. Yeah, I mean, he slid. He was probably, 10 more picks after that. I think he was like 40. He was before JT, I want to say. Milrow was plus 1,000. And Travion Henderson plus 325 right there. So I thought it was going to be him.
So Trey had better odds than Q did.
He did. Q's wasn't even on the board. JT Tuimoloau was plus 550.
Okay.
So Q wasn't even on the board right there to potentially go. And so I'm going to ask you this, Shark, as our resident Browns fan. How do we feel about that? You had Trey and Quinshon both available.
Yep.
They end up going with Quinshon, who I think it's a good pick. I don't dislike it. Are you surprised that they went with Q over Trey in that spot, given kind of where they're at and what they need?
I think everybody was surprised. Our daily fan poll on Friday, we listed, we asked who will be the next Buckeye taken. We didn't even list Quinshon as one of the 5 options. That was pretty amazing. I of course, would have gone with Trey. I like the fact that he catches the ball out of the backfield and he's so explosive. But, yeah, obviously they saw something in Quinshon.
Well, they also doubled down, too, because then they went with Dylan Sampson in round number 4. So they got 2 backs in one draft.
First time since, the 2013 Titans that 2 running backs were picked in the top 4 rounds by one team.
Well, now you know the vision. I mean, you understand what's going to go on now. It's going to be running back by committee up there.
I see the writing on the wall. Nick Chubb will not be back.
Yeah, I would say that was kind of when they picked the second back. And then Q is kind of Nick Chubb-esque. Like, if you get Trey, I could understand, like, hey, you're still going to bring back Nick Chubb. He's tough, hard runner, all those things. But going with Q, he's kind of like a younger, obviously healthier Nick Chubb. So it's
he's a between the tackles guy.
Between the tackles, downhill dude. So you obviously saw that potentially happening right there.
How about a little bit later in the draft, too? Because then after JT was done, by the way, shout out to Bill in the YouTube chat, 7 Buckeyes in the top 45. That is a new record for Ohio State, which is pretty incredible to think about. I had to wait until middle Saturday afternoon to see the next Buckeye. Next Buckeye taken off the board at pick 115 was Cody Simon
I think
to
that
the
was
Arizona
kind of
Cardinals.
upset.
I agree with that. I mean, because you look at the guys who are still on the board, and Lathan and Jack and Ty, Jordan Hancock, Denzel Burke, Will Howard, all those guys still on the board. But yeah, Cody Simon being the first of the next Buckeyes to go in that Saturday afternoon window. And I thought to myself when I saw this pick come down, I'm like, boy, the Cardinals are just loving themselves some Buckeyes over these last few years. I mean, you have to think about Marv last year, the year before that, big pick on Paris Johnson, and now doubling down even more and going with Cody Simon. Like, should be a great fit for him. Lathan went swiftly after that to the Panthers. 123, most Pittsburgh Steeler pick of all time. Jack Sawyer going to the Steelers.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome to see that with Jax. I know that he was fired up to be there. And, I know we'll talk to Schleiks tomorrow about it, but I know he probably wanted to go earlier than this, and I thought, honestly, the difference between him and JT may have been 10 to 15 picks. But, obviously the draft kind of speaks as where things are going, and that was part of that little second run of edges that they had right there. I think there was like 4 or 5 edge players taken over a spot of like 8 to 10 picks. So Jack being one of those guys and being in that group, that's a good pick. It's a good spot. You got Cam Hayward there, obviously to help shepherd him along, and then getting his buddy Will Howard there later, obviously a huge piece.
Last pick for the Buckeyes in the draft at 185 for Will Howard to go to the Steelers. Ty Hamilton going out to L.A. out with the Rams. Jordan Hancock, which may be the steal of the draft, going to the Buffalo Bills. Really good pick by them at that point. And then Denzel joining up with Cody Simon in Arizona. Again, their love for drafting Buckeyes.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Denzel go that late.
Yeah.
I would have thought either Jack or Denzel would have been the first off the board on Friday or Saturday morning. But you saw obviously Cody go there, and then Lathan going ahead of Jack as well. Those guys going back to back was pretty sweet.
Seth McLaughlin signed a deal with the Cincinnati Bengals after the draft.
That.
Josh Fryer signed with the Arizona Cardinals. 3 Buckeyes out in Arizona. And then G. Scott Jr. signed with the Pats on Saturday night. So that's your little Buckeye draft recap here. Again, 14 total players drafted for Ohio State. It is a team record. It is a school record. It is not the record of 16 to set a new mark. Which team won and lost the draft? We're going to ask Bill Bender of the Sporting News coming up here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We've got a crash on US 33 eastbound at Avery Muirfield Drive. Your left lane is blocked, so that's why things are a little slow. We also have construction on the East Outer Belt northbound at Hamilton Road. You're down to 2 lanes here until this construction wraps up at 5 a.m. on Tuesday. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Tomorrow at this very time, we'll be joined live by the venerable Anthony Schlegel. As for now, though, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our great friend. He is the Sporting News. He is Bill Bender. Bill, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Winners, losers of the draft. Let's hear them, Bill. Happy Monday.
Yeah, the Shedeur Sanders slide is the unprecedented. I know we're going to get into it, but never seen anything like it, where you have a projected first-round quarterback slide all the way down to the 5th round. I think that storyline was kind of a loser because it overtook the entire draft. As far as teams, I thought your Bears had a really good draft, and the Patriots under Mike Vrabel going offense, getting Drake May some help right away with guys like Will Campbell, Travion Henderson, Kyle Williams, a Washington State receiver who had a really great season last year. And so Mike Vrabel and he even took a kicker and a long snapper.
Yeah, exactly. A very Patriots thing to do. Did you like what the Browns ultimately did? They trade back. They leave Travis Hunter obviously on the board and get Mason Graham, but also pick up a bevy of picks. Now, some of that it was always on how you spent those picks, and the most valuable one being that first rounder next year. But I liked what they did and where they're at, and going with some Buckeye flavor as well.
Yeah, the first round move, all they got in return was worth it if they knew Travis Hunter wasn't what they wanted. And Travis Hunter ends in a good spot at Jacksonville because Florida native will be able to play two ways there. But taking Mason Graham was a good pick. He should fit in well with what they have with Myles Garrett. Then they get Quinshawn to go with, the running attack, which probably means, Nick Chubb's not coming back. And then the quarterback part I didn't get. But, I could say that about the Browns since 1999, right? Taking Dylan Gabriel was fine. But then coming back and getting Shedeur, you could argue Shedeur's a value pick, but I don't know. I guess you're creating a competition for your third quarterback to start, assuming that Kenny Pickett will be the backup.
Do you think, Bill, if you would have signed Browns fans up at the beginning of the draft saying, hey, you're going to walk away from this draft with the Big Ten, SEC, MAC, and Big 12 offensive players of the year, and in the time doing that, you're also going to draft 2 quarterbacks. There is an interesting juxtaposition when it comes to thought process of that. Am I wrong on that?
Right. There was 13 quarterbacks drafted, and then when you get into the later rounds, we can say, well, this is a B. We did quarterback grades at Sporting News, and you can say this guy's a B+, this is a C, whatever. It all comes down to opportunity. Like Quinn Ewers, for example, was taken in the 7th round, which is stunning. I saw a lot of tweets that said he would have made more money in college this season, which is probably true. But he's also behind Tua Tagovailoa, who has an injury history, so there could be an opportunity for him to play at some point this year. But back to Cleveland, I just think here's what my final word on Shedeur would be. Start this year, or he could get cut before the end of the preseason. And that's a very wide range of outcomes that could happen with the former Colorado quarterback.
So, people talk about off-the-field stuff all the time, Bill, and that playing into this. I'm trying to figure this thing out with Shedeur because watching him play this year, I didn't think he was, one of the best quarterbacks of all time to enter the draft. But it's a very weak quarterback draft. I was surprised that he made it through Thursday. Not shocked, but I figured, hey, you know what? He goes second round probably. That's all right. But do you think it was more of the function of how he handled some of those interviews, as we talked about, like as was reported with the Giants and some of the other ones, maybe ill-prepared, maybe a little arrogant in there? Or how much do you think it was because of who he is, the involvement of his dad and what his dad had said? Or was there just a different evaluation between the media, given his dad's connections there, and how the NFL truly believes his talent is?
Yes. I think it was a combination of everything, Bobby. Like the interview process probably not going well. I think a lot of it is you need your quarterback to be a leader, and that's going to be the challenge. I'm not saying he wasn't a leader in that Colorado locker room, but there was the example of the Nebraska game, throwing the offensive line under the bus in the press conference. Everything he did at Colorado was picked apart. Then you get into the point where, okay, we're not taking him in the first round. I wasn't stunned until he wasn't taken Friday. So as we got through the third round, and probably the most stunning part to me was Jalen Milroe and Dylan Gabriel getting taken ahead of him, because you're like, okay, what's really going on here? And then he falls into the day 3 crowd. But I think at the end of the day, if he's a true NFL quarterback, and there is some talent there, especially throwing the ball down the field. He had 14 touchdowns, 20 yards or more passes last year. But now he has to earn it. His dad's not been his coach. He can go out, if he can earn that job in Cleveland somehow, and the star power is there if he eventually starts, that, facing some adversity, this will be good for his career if he can get through it.
He is Bill Bender, the Sporting News, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Opposite side of the state, Bill, how do you think the Bengals did here in this draft? I know that Bob and I talked a lot about the Shamar Stewart pick on Friday when we were in here, and then you kind of look at the rest of what they did. I mean, they did get some help in the interior offensive line, but noticeably weak when it comes to drafting interior of the defensive line, with one of those lacking in their drafts.
Yeah, and this draft was expected, though. I didn't think it was going to be very fancy. Get some interior line help for Joe Burrow. Like you said, Shamar is one of those high upside picks, hands out. But what you're hearing, at least I hear my Cincinnati buddies say, is we just did that with Miles Murphy. So I think that's the thing there. They've got to hit on these first-round defensive round picks for the foreseeable future, because they have so much money tied up in T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. So they're really going to have to draft well on that side of the ball. I thought the Steelers, not to change the subject, the Steelers had a really good draft. And they just do that, don't they? It's Derek Harmon, and then they get Jack Sawyer, obviously Pickerington kid. We were happy about that down here. And, Will Howard, they just, every time they pick somebody, I say that makes sense. It's annoying.
Were you surprised, like you said, it wasn't shocking that necessarily that Shedeur Sanders fell as far as he did. But the fact, and I could even see Milroe going ahead of him just because, some of his elite athletic traits of what he is. And now you see Jalen Hurts, and, there might be a roadmap for success. But, the fact that Dylan Gabriel went where he did and went ahead of him. And I was just amazed because, watching games this year, I didn't feel like there was a considerable difference between Will Howard and Dylan Gabriel and seeing them play. And the fact that you're looking at basically 3 rounds separating those guys, to me, seemed like a fairly extreme evaluation.
Well, I thought Will Howard and Kyle McCord, both former Buckeye quarterbacks, would go on day 2. And I missed that by a couple rounds. But at the end of the day, Will Howard gets in a good landing spot, Pittsburgh. I mean, I didn't realize, you compare him to Big Ben. I thought Big Ben was like 6'8" or something, but Will Howard and Ben Roethlisberger, same body type. So I'm sure Pittsburgh can work with him. and get him going. And then Kyle McCord, who has this outstanding season at Syracuse last year, lands in his hometown Philadelphia, where he can be a backup quarterback there, and I think he can continue to develop. Those two were the value picks to me, and I'm surprised they fell as far as they did before that quarterback run happens. I think Jalen Milroe will be fine, but it'll take some time. And the Dylan Gabriel pick, quite frankly, I just didn't understand in that spot. He's a great college quarterback, had a wonderful season, good personality in the locker room. I don't know if he was worth a third-round pick.
Bill, to your point in the comment about the Steelers draft and how it just makes sense whenever they submit a selection, I also feel that way with the Ravens. When I go through and I look at their draft board, I'm like, yep, that makes sense. Look at them. This guy's going to be around for 8 to 10 years. It's a great pick by them.
The organizations in the draft, and it's programmed for me, but when they're the other team, that's exactly right, Brandon. Malachi Starks.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, he's going to fit. Mike Green, obviously there's some off-the-field potential issues there with some allegations, but I watched him play very well against Ohio State last year. He's a dynamic edge rusher, one of the rare – and one trend to watch. This is one thing I pointed out on Saturday. 15% of the draft picks in this draft, 15% came from Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas. And there was only in the top 50, there was only one group of 5 guy. Ashton Jeanty was pretty good. So when you take a group 5 guy like Mike Green, I think he was one of the gems from those 5 conferences as well.
Bill, always appreciate the time. Thanks for popping on with us today. Have a fantastic week, buddy, and we'll check in again next Monday, all right?
We will. Thanks so much for having me on. Take care.
There he goes, our good friend Bill Bender of the Sporting News with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We had one of the more wild endings you'll ever see in any sport in a playoff game over the weekend. We'll do that in Quick Hitters next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
An accident this morning on US 33 eastbound at Avery Muirfield Drive. Your left lane is blocked, so plan for some delays here. Also, traffic slows on State Route 161 eastbound between Johnstown Road and Beach Road. And it's heavy and slow on US 33 westbound between Gender Road and I-270 southeast. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Grocery shopping is a good deal better with the Meijer 7 for 7 sale. Pay just $1 each when you mix or match any 7 or more participating items. Save big on everything you need for a complete family meal, including assorted Meijer frozen vegetables, select varieties of Campbell's condensed soup, Meijer pasta and pasta sauce, and Ben & Jerry's or Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Family-friendly meals and low prices. That's the happy shopper good life at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, 3-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, 2-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to LifeSearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit LifeSearch.com today.
Buy now with pre-tariff pricing at Coughlin Kia. Lease a new 2025 Kia K4, just $195 a month plus taxes and fees. Or choose low 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2025 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Coughlin has a car for you.
1.9% for 60 months equals $18.37 per 1,000 with approved credit through CM Motor Finance. 24-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents per mile over. 2025 due. Excludes $250 dock fee, $400 disposition fee at lease end. No security deposit. See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/25.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
A radio show hosted by two former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Big thanks to Bill Bender, always popping on with us 6:30 on Monday. Bill and I had the same exact thought. Steelers and Ravens always have good drafts, and that's just what they do. That's who they are. You go and you look at their draft picks that they made, you're like, yep, that's going to make sense a lot with what they're doing. So always thanks to Bill. Always a good time chatting with him early on Monday morning.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Hey, Sharky, happy Monday to you.
Hi, Beamsy. It is a great Monday, isn't it? Always a great day to be alive when you make it through the weekend and you're still upright. Hard to believe it's never happened in the history of the NBA playoffs, but on Saturday we saw the first ever buzzer-beating dunk to win a playoff game. Nuggets and Clippers tied at 99. Denver has the ball for a last shot, either win the game or they go to overtime. Nikola Jokic took that shot, but threw up an air ball. And that's when Aaron Gordon swooped in, grabbed the rebound, grabbed the ball
out of the air.
And dunked it for a 101-99 Nuggets victory. Gordon and Jokic were asked about it in the post-game presser.
They're calling this the first playoff buzzer-beating dunk in NBA history. What does it feel like to make a shot like that?
It's a nice pass.
Yes. Awkward silence.
Joker. Was it a pass? No, it wasn't.
No, Beams, he owned it.
Come on.
He should have just said it was a pass. Get the assist.
Right? Come on, Joker. It was. It's pretty remarkable when you think about all the things we've seen and all the buzzer beaters and the different variations of on the court, Bob, where they've come from. You could throw lob passes inside, have a little mini hook buzzer beater off the backboard, three-pointers we've seen half quarters, we've seen full quarters. We have never seen in our lives a game-winning dunk in the NBA playoffs with clocks hit zero. I mean, I was actually watching this game. I had the quad box on Saturday night. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Like, let me turn on this game and see what's popping off, because it did seem like there would be an opportunity at the very end of the game to win. And that ball's in the air, and you see Aaron Gordon leave his feet like, oh boy, it's going to be long. Flush. They went back to the review. It took them 10 minutes to figure out whether or not it was a good basket because, I mean, it was bang, bang. Again, buzzer beater is what was happening. And then the Nuggets went on to win that game. Aaron Gordon was like shaky in the postgame, like right after it. He didn't really have any words to describe it, but I thought it was a good bit of fun that he had after the game. He has a great pass from Joker to put me in that spot.
Yeah, when I saw that and saw the highlight, I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. And I love that he threw out the pass. Like you said, he owned it. They won, so I guess you can kind of laugh about it. And he's won a couple of MVPs, so his job security is feeling fine.
Yeah, I would think so. There were 3 former Buckeye quarterbacks taken in this draft. Kyle McCord was the 181st pick by the Eagles. Will Howard went with the 185th pick to the Steelers, both 6th-round picks. And then Quinn Ewers went in the middle of the 7th round, 231st overall. Before the season, Ewers was projected as a surefire 1st-round pick and then took the Longhorns to the Final Four of the college football playoffs. But some flaws were exposed. ESPN had Ewers as the 7th best quarterback in this draft, but Bobby, he wound up going 13th among quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I was looking at that, and all I could think about is, man, he probably wishes he would have went to Miami or somewhere like that and made, I don't know, I bet he would have at least got $2 million this year. And I give him credit for saying, like, hey, I already transferred once. I'm a Texas guy. Don't want to be, transferring around and doing all that. But, I mean, gosh, dog, that's a lot of cash to leave on the table.
That's
and
a lot, man.
I don't know if they exposed some of his, I guess, flaws. I guess he doesn't have a huge arm. It's accurate, but he's not the biggest guy. He was hurt a lot. Ironically, as Bill Bender was talking about, him going to back up Tua and Tua being hurt a lot, I'm like,
not a bad situation.
Not a bad situation, but he's kind of like a right-handed Tua a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe not the strongest arm in the world, great touch, not
undersized.
The biggest guy. Yeah, like little injury prone, like all those things kind of hit him as well.
I think we're burying the lead here. Did you see his draft room? Did you see Quinn's draft room? I don't know if I've seen more dead animals on a wall in one spot than where Quinn Ewers was at. I don't know if that's at his family compound. I don't know if that's on a hunting ranch somewhere. I showed that picture.
Bo Bishop said he was renting Brad Paisley's house. Brad, help me out here, Bob. Brad.
Cham.
Patrick Swayze.
Oh, Roadhouse.
Brad what?
Brad
Wesley.
Wesley. Brad Wesley's house.
I mean, it was remarkable. I showed that picture to Meredith, and she just looked at it sideways like, you think he procured all that on his own? I'm like, that is, it seems, multiple generations of families and hunting. Like, there had to be 100 deer / moose / whatever the heck else was up on that wall. Yeah, that was a pretty wild situation, though. But the fact that he becomes the last quarterback taken in the draft, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with him. But also to your point, Bob, about like transferring and going somewhere else, it worked for Cam Ward. I mean, look at Cam Ward. He goes back to college 100%. For one more year. He decides to go down to Miami. Cool. I pop up as the number 1 draft pick. So, I mean, it has worked before. But, yeah, I did see yesterday that Quinn is not going back to school, and he's going to stay with the Dolphins through the draft. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Not a terrible situation, though, being down there with Mike McDaniel. Crazy Warcraft man.
I want you to think about this. Maybe I'll reveal this next. The odds last year at this time for who would be the number 1 overall pick in the draft. It's pretty spicy, to say the least.
Okay.
We'll get those to you here next. I want to tell you, you're tired of getting crushed every month with insane credit card payments? I know you can get them all paid off. Imagine 0 credit card debt. It's easy with Advantage First Lending. That's AFLcash.com, AFLcash.com. AFL specializes in helping homeowners unlock the equity in their home. I'm talking instant financial freedom. AFLcash.com. It's your first step. They can get you tens, even hundreds of thousands in cash. Pay off credit cards, car loans, personal loans, slashing your overall monthly payment by hundreds of dollars. Start your new year off with less stress and more confidence. Say goodbye to high-interest debt by tapping into your home's equity. AFL's high-tech platform is super fast with 0 hassle and 0 junk fees. Over 2,000 5-star reviews. Listen, it's a new year. Make the call now. Advantage First Lending. Call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Get on the path toward a brighter financial future. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Equal housing lender, MLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Where were the odds last year at this time for picks? When ultimately, where did they end up this year? We'll get into that next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Traffic is slow this morning on State Route 161 eastbound between Johnstown Road and Beach Road. Also, plan for heavy and slow traffic US 33 westbound between Hill Road and Hamilton Road. There's construction as well in the east outerbound northbound at Hamilton Road. You're down to just 2 lanes. That may be a bit of a slow spot as well as the morning commute continues to build. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if erectile dysfunction is making for a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Tri-State Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. And for a limited time, we're offering new patients a free first visit to help you get the care you deserve. This includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose to demonstrate to you the amazing effectiveness of our treatments. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
From the hardwood to the warehouse, performance matters. That's why Caster Connection, proudly based in Columbus and trusted nationwide, delivers industrial caster and wheel solutions to keep operations rolling smoothly. With an unrivaled online inventory and the best consultative experts in the industry, we'll help you find the right caster for any job. Shop now at casterconnection.com and save 10% on online orders with promo code ROLL10.
Not a retail location.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here with a challenge. Well, a challenge might not be the best choice of words, so let's say an opportunity. Take the opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. Has a different ring to it when you have a finish line, doesn't it? 40 by the 4th. Maybe you looked at the scale this morning and it read 230 pounds. How about it reading 190 by the 4th of July? Maybe the scale says 300. Wouldn't the 260 number be a little nicer on your eyes and on your knees? It's attainable if you have the same results we all had with Awaken 180. I dropped 40 pounds in just 8 weeks. There's no reason you can't drop 40 by the 4th and be feeling as great as I still do now. Ring Independence Day in healthy, confident, and most important, feeling happy. You reached your goal with the help of Awaken 180. So fire up your grill and grab your beverage of choice because the weight's staying off thanks to free support for life. 40 by the 4th. Set your goal and reach it. Reserve your consultation online at awaken180weightloss.com.
This spring, celebrate the women who made you, raised you, and stood by you. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. For over 78 years, whether it's for Mother's Day, an anniversary, graduation, or just because, we've had the perfect gifts for the women who mean the world to you. At Diamond Cellar, you'll find timeless jewelry they'll cherish forever because every woman deserves a little sparkle. For all your spring gifting needs, visit Diamond Cellar on Selma Road and at Easton Town Center, or shop online at diamondcellar.com.
We've all got it, you know, that one crazy thing you've always wanted to do, that bucket list goal. Then a cancer diagnosis, and that one thing still goes according to plan. I would know I'm getting my first tattoo right now, while my 3 beautiful daughters laugh hysterically at me. 58 years old, 4 years of cancer-free checkups at Ohio Health. Go ahead and get a picture, girls. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. After allowing just 2 earned runs combined in his first 3 starts of the season, Cincinnati's Nick Lodolo had given up 7 runs in his last 2 starts. He bounced back in a big way yesterday at Coors Field. Lodolo went 7 shutout innings, giving up just 2 hits while striking out 9 as the Reds whipped the Rockies 8-1. In Cleveland, the Red Sox put up some crooked numbers. 2 runs in the second, 5 in the fifth, 3 in the seventh. It all added up to a 13-3 pounding of the Guardians. Cedon Rafaela had a homer and 5 RBIs for Boston. In the first round of the NBA playoffs, Detroit's Tim Hardaway Jr. was fouled on a 3-point attempt at the buzzer. It wasn't called, and the Pistons wound up losing at home to the Knicks 94-93. After the game, officials admitted they missed the foul. New York leads 3-1. The Sports Center is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Hour 2 for us here on a Monday. Coming up this hour at 7:30 this morning, Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row. He's going to join us. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him. Then at 8:30, our great friend Joshua Perry. He joins us on this fantastic, what should be beautiful April Monday.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the Master Griller.
Sharky mentioned in some baseball over the weekend. Reds sweeping the Rockies. Got the Cards for a series coming in tonight at Great American Ballpark. What's happening up in Cleveland this weekend, Shark? I thought we were feeling good coming off the series win against the Yankees. They kind of get smoked by the Red Sox.
It all started with a rain out on Friday beam, and they had to go with the doubleheader on Saturday, call up a 27th player from AAA Columbus, and things fell apart. Got the Twins coming in now for a big 4-banger.
Yeah, you do. Got to get some of those done. So the Gardos at home against the Twins, continuing their homestand. Crew take down San Jose 2-1 on Saturday night. I was listening to Chris Doran on the call of that game. I mean, he can make anything exciting. It was back and forth, and the Crew ultimately got a win. So back to winning ways for them at home this coming Saturday against Charlotte. And then we had a Cavalanche down in South Beach over the weekend. The Heat have to get one more game here to get to 5, and they play again tonight down in Miami. It looks like there's no chance that Miami can win a game in this series.
Don't say that. Don't jinx them.
I'm not trying to jinx you. I'm just telling you that they are the better team.
And I was watching some of that.
Cavs better than the Heat.
Well, I was watching some of that Orlando-Boston game last night, which I never thought in a million years I would have dipped into. But I looked up, it's like 93, 94, 91.
Good game.
Well, I'm thinking, if Orlando can win this, they could get to 2-2, and then you're going to force at least a 6-game series, which I'm all for. Gassing a team out in early rounds, but alas, they couldn't get it done, and Orlando fell down 3-1. So
hopefully,
that looks over.
Hopefully a 4-game Cavalanche coming up tonight. Again, in South Beach is where you're having that game this evening. But yeah, very much looking forward to that one tonight. What were some of the odds you were looking at this time last year? Because I have odds for next year's draft.
Yeah.
And I think nobody will be surprised that the overwhelming favorite to go number 1 in next year's draft is Arch Manning. He is at 2-1 odds. Swiftly followed by Drew Aller at plus 225. Right there for the number 1 pick. Garrett Nussmeier at plus 450. And then there's a big tumble after that for the next odds.
Who did you say was number 1?
Arch, 2-1.
All right, so here we go.
This is last year at this time?
Last year at this time.
Okay, so just coming off of the 2024 NFL draft. All right.
Any guess of who the number 1?
Who the number 1 overall pick?
Favorite
I'm going to say
best
it was
odds.
a quarterback.
Yep. I'm going to say the first 3 guys are quarterbacks.
I'm going to say it was not Cam Ward.
No.
I don't think it would have been Cam Ward either.
Shark, you could have been retired by now if you would have got Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Was it Quinn?
Was not Quinn.
No? Was he in the top 3?
Quinn was third.
Okay.
At 5-1. There's 2 other guys. One still in school. One that got drafted this year.
One is still in school.
He's coming
one
back
got
for
drafted
his
this year.
Senior year.
Yeah. It's no joke.
I don't know.
Wow.
How quickly we forget.
Yeah, he must have had a bad season if he's coming back for a
No,
fourth year.
he got hurt. He played okay though. His team won the conference, I believe. Won their conference.
I'm having so much of a difficult time right now.
Carson Beck was second.
Carson Beck.
4-1.
The Beckster.
And then you have no idea who the number 1 was that got drafted this year?
I mean, there's only 13 of them.
Yeah.
Shedeur?
There you go.
Okay.
So Shedeur
was the favorite?
Plus 250.
Wow.
Carson Beck was second at 4-1. Quinn Ewers third at 5-1. James Pierce 7-1. Couple more quarterbacks. Drew Aller, who was not in this draft, will be in next year's 12-1. Jalen Milroe 12-1. Travis Hunter 12-1. Jackson Dart 14-1. Get all the way down to Cam Ward 25-1. Been a pretty nice. Threw a couple shekels on that one. It would have been a pretty nice little payday for you.
You know what?
JT Tuimoloau, he's in there probably around 12th or 13th at 33-1. Abdul Carter was 40-1.
Well, it didn't cash.
No.
Only the Cam Ward tickets cashing at 25-1. Guys who are 25-1 for next year's draft, TJ Parker, Keldrick Falk, and Caleb Downs, if we're going on recent trends of players to be 25-1. But like I said, Garrett Nussmeier plus 450, Drew Aller plus 225, Arch Manning 2-1, and then you get Cade Klubnik down in Clemson with a significant drop-off at 18-1. It just shows you how much that can happen during the course of a college football season, and also how much can happen after the college football season ends and you get into meeting time. Yeah, you got to have the right fit if you're going to draft someone. And I think obviously, Bob, you can take all the tape in the world you want, but if you're not a fit with the team and you have a bad meeting, all of a sudden it might cost you.
Well,
might cost you a lot.
They start looking at your film and they spend all that time trying to find out reasons why not to draft you.
Correct. That's
the problem. And I don't know if it's the problem as much as it's just the reality of what it is, but that's how they do it, and they break you down. And so I'm just curious, so I asked Bill Bender that, because there's 3 things with Shedeur. Either one, he was just that bad in meetings, aloof and arrogant. Second part of it could be is people don't want to deal with his dad, which, I mean, there's already making comments about, his son doesn't take a backseat to anybody and all this different things. I don't know if that's something you want to deal with. Or the third is the evaluation of members of the media. Todd. Most notably Mel and some other guys.
Did you see, was it Saturday after he got picked?
Yes.
His rant that he went on?
Oh, my God. The NFL for 50 years.
They don't know how to evaluate quarterbacks. They've never been good at it. He went on a tirade.
Yeah, it was great. So, yeah, they're like, Mel, this is it. The draft has spoken.
Reese, went right across his
32
bow.
independent teams thought that this is where he should, that they did not like him at multiple spots.
Yeah.
And so the last piece was the evaluation of draft experts. I use that in air quotes. In the media, that different than people that were actually in the draft and people that were able to pick. Because someone was like, "Oh, Mel Kiper, how did this happen?" Mel had him here. I go, "How many picks does Mel Kiper have in the draft?"
How many?
To
has
my
he ever
knowledge,
had?
he's never had a single one.
Yeah.
At least some of these guys have been involved with stuff before and have been in those war rooms. But if not, then you're just making speculation. But even with that, and this is something that I think was brought up, were members of the media, some of them maybe afraid to voice their true thoughts on Shedeur for fear of any type of pushback from Dion and how he would come at him and have some sort of grievance patrol about, they don't know what they're doing or they're just out for him or whatever.
I think at the base of it, though, I mean, you can say that someone's maybe not a great draft prospect. We did say that. We said that this quarterback class was nothing like last year's.
Yeah.
And last year's had great success as a rookie camp.
Everyone said this one was supposed to be better, though.
Well, how did that turn out? And maybe it will be. I don't know. I don't know what these guys are going to be. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot if you're taken in the first round, whether you're a successful quarterback in the NFL or not. That's what it is. That's what the numbers will tell you throughout the course and history of the draft. It is a coin flip. And then you get down later in the draft, and maybe it becomes a little more skewed. You guys, body language guys, I mean, do you read into body language? Like when they showed Stefanski and Andrew Berry after the pick, again, I mean, we have some Andrew Berry sound we can play for you. He's calling him a great kid, and I think they did get value at that pick. But you see what they do? They got 5 quarterbacks on their roster. You added Joe Flacco. You added Kenny Pickett. You took Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd. You still got Deshaun on your team. You're trying to get out of that contract by hell or high water. And then you took Shedeur Sanders. You got 5 quarterbacks on your team.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like he was thrilled after the pick. Like, again, I may be reading too much into that, but he was pretty dead-eyed.
They asked him, Mary Kay asked him about that.
Well, in all fairness, he always looks like that. But.
Yeah. And they said, he and Stefanski said, those aren't live. They show the war room on a delayed basis, so that wasn't his reaction at the moment the pick came in.
Okay, good. So I am overreacting then.
I don't know.
It was suspicious, at the least.
So the follow-up from her is, well, what did you look like live?
Yeah, what was your reaction? I know you've got videos. I mean, you've got 300 cameras in every single war room across the NFL. What was the reaction to that? Yeah, it was a fascinating weekend. We'll tell you what else stood out from us from the draft coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Traffic volumes are building for your Monday drive. Plan for slow spots on State Route 161 eastbound between Johnstown Road and Beach Road. Also on US 33 westbound, it's a little slow. Hill to Hamilton as traffic volumes build. The earlier accident on US 33 eastbound at Avery Muirfield Drive has cleared. Traffic here is getting back to normal. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Before you start your day, UDF has already started baking your breakfast. We're making biscuits and croissants in our bakery served with sausage, egg, and cheese before you hit your first alarm. Fresh baked breakfast sandwiches from United Dairy Farmers. UDF, mornings made for you.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes who are going above and beyond in their communities. Newman Roofing wants to recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in their towns to be recognized on 10 TV and The Fan. Stay tuned as we begin announcing the selected honorees who truly embody the spirit of Newman Roofing's commitment to community.
Hey, everybody suffers with pain, and everybody's looking for solutions for it. You're out there, you're walking around, you're trying to play golf. You want to do the things you used to do the things you love, just like I did. And after years of beating up my body, it just didn't respond the way that I wanted to. For me, it was my knee. And so I went to QC Kinetics. I brought my dad to QC Kinetics. For years, he was banging on his body, and it helped him, and it helped me get back to doing the things that we love. And here's the best part. They have offices throughout Columbus, and so they took care of my knee in a couple short visits, and I was feeling good. They use your own body's biologics, regenerative cell therapy. It's going to restore the tissue in your achy joints and make you feel like you used to again. There's no drugs, there's no surgery, and there's no downtime. It's all natural at the cellular level. It's going to feel great, and you're going to love it. You'll get back to doing the things that you love. So go check them out at 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus and check out one of their great offices located through Central Ohio.
This summer, something wild is coming to your Columbus Zoo. The all-new North America Trek opens soon. Get closer than ever to Mexican wolves, river otters, and more in stunning new habitats. Experience wildlife and conservation in action. Plan your visit today at columbuszoo.org.
Rothman and Ice.
When you have a star player, you commit to him and you worry about everything down the road. You do everything you can to capitalize on this window of time that you have.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
Every Ohio student, no matter where they're from, what they look like, or how much money their parents make, deserves a world-class public education that empowers them to reach their full potential. That's why we need our lawmakers to fully and fairly fund our public schools in this state budget. Call your state senator today.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A chilly start, but don't worry. It is going to be a very nice start to the work week with afternoon highs soaring into the low 80s and plenty of sunshine. For tonight, skies will be mostly clear and mild, lows overnight into the low 60s. And then chances of showers and thunderstorms later in the day on Tuesday, but early afternoon to late evening, we could see strong to severe storms develop, otherwise breezy with afternoon highs in the low 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Another banger of the day here. What a weekend we had weather-wise. Yesterday it was beautiful. Started off cool. Saturday was a little bit cooler. And then, today we're reaching the big 8-0.
Yeah.
That sun icon on the screen.
Super nice.
Better than that.
The sun icon, yeah.
It's pretty good anytime you get a day when you see the big the sun logo.
He makes you feel good.
Yeah, he does. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Need that on a Monday. It's better than the turd sandwich eating a thunderstorm, which we're going to get the rest of the week, but we're going to take this day.
Is that the rest of the week supposed to be?
Yeah, bad.
Yeah, I don't like that. There's lightning bolts on there.
Yeah, but at least you got the sun today.
Does it? Wednesday might be a little reprieve. Friday, poop. Saturday, Derby Day. 62, a little partly sunny. I'll take that. Friday, though, not a fun day, to say the least.
What did you guys do this weekend?
What did we do? I grabbed some dinner on Friday and Saturday night. Went over and played. I didn't. I got behind. I had a speaking engagement over at the recruiting room that I had to do, and then I was going to go play in the upper deck golf deal.
Saw some of the Ohio State women's golfers out there. It looked awesome.
Yeah, and I unfortunately I missed our deal, and I was going to time up. It was going to time up real nice, and then unfortunately, the speaking engagement went a little bit long. It was a little delayed. And the air conditioning wasn't working in the recruiting room, so that was a balmy situation in there. It was pretty warm. Thankfully, I had on like a polo because I was going to play golf right after. Some people had on like jackets and things.
You starting to sweat like Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, it was
NFL meetings.
It was not a good feel. But I got up there, got them juiced up, and then I missed my tee time, if you will. I thought I could just catch my group, but I thought it'd take like 2 hours to go through that. I think it was more like an hour.
Hour situation?
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Okay.
And so they kind of run through that. But then, as always, I got to be a part of the best, which was some beverages after the game.
The 19th hole?
The 19th hole, sitting there in the NetJets landing, hanging out, having some bevies. And
Did you hit a single golf shot or not?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I literally got to them. And he's like, where are you? He's like, we're down here by the Varsity room, the NetJets landing. I'm like, oh, okay. And I went there. I was like, oh, this is done. I thought this is like maybe the halfway point or something.
Halfway house?
He's like, yeah, dude, we're finished. I'm like, oh, okay. So we'll just have some drinks.
It looked really cool.
Hang out. It does. It's fun. I mean, I haven't been up in C deck in a minute. Walking around up there was pretty wild. But it was a fun time. And it's funny. I wanted my man Larry, who's like in charge of the red coat. So it's like, hey, I can cut over. So parking was on the west side.
Okay.
Recruiting was on the east side. I was like, hey, I'm going to park. I parked in there for the golf. I'm going to play in a minute. And I went in. I was like, I got to get to the other side in the recruiting room for an event. I'm like, I can walk through south. He's like, yeah, don't go on the field. I'm like,
no, you're going to be like me at Muirfield when I was working the driving range.
He's like, yeah, I'm not trying to get pegged by a ball, although it would be pretty fun as long as you knew where they were coming from and maybe you had a helmet on to avoid any serious
I feel like Leonidas and the Spartans in 300.
They'll send enough arrows, they'll fire enough arrows, they'll block out the sun.
Well, I guess we'll fight in the shade then.
Perfect. So, yeah, I went under south stands, went over there, and got back. So, hung out, and then I had to wrap up a little. I did off-campus last week for 4 days with Rhett Lewis, doing a lot of draft breakdown and everything there on XM. So, finished that up, and, yeah, just dove in the weekend. I woke up. We had a 8 o'clock game over at Easton for my man Caleb.
8 a.m.?
8 a.m. So that was a pretty early wake up for me, considering Friday night is when I watched.
You were texting me about the Count of Monte Cristo at 1:30 in the morning?
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and look at my timestamps.
I started at about 11, so it was probably about 1 when it was wrapping up. It's about 2 hours. I think 2 hours and 3 minutes. But yeah, I watched it. I had to go pick up RJ. He got back from that was Saturday. I watched it Saturday night because that's when he got back. So, yes, rewatched it.
All of them are running together.
All the days, yeah. I started, you know what? I watched it both nights, to tell you the truth. I watched it Friday.
Double feature.
I hadn't seen it in a while.
It was so good the first time on the rewatch. Let me just spin around and do it again.
I went and picked up RJ. He was coming back from his crew meet match. I don't know, whatever it is. And yeah, he did pretty well in that, and that was their boat made the finals, and he's
like actual crew. I thought you were talking about the crew soccer team.
No, it was like
actual boating.
The rowing of the boating.
Yeah.
So he was doing that, and they were busting back from Detroit. So I had to go pick him up at like 10, 9:45, 10. Maybe it was like 10:30. I got back, and I was like, hey, you tired? He's like, I'm all right. I go, you want to see a sweet movie? And I put it on, and we bought it on Amazon. So I was still under the 24-hour window, so I put it on, and we watched it.
That's what I did. It was the best $3.49 I think I've ever spent.
And he liked it, and then I went to sleep and woke up Sunday and had more games and stuff to do. And I also, I've had my winch on my bumper. I got 2 new bumpers, like a brush guard for my Jeep last year. Put those on. My brother had to put the winch on for me. He had to. It always looks so simple, and they say, he's like, yeah, this isn't formulated for this at all. We're going to have to drill this. I have to get a new plate to anchor it in
That's exactly what I want to do.
And so he did all that, and I hadn't, the winch was sitting there, so cosmetically it looked good, but it was not yet functional. It had not been hooked up to the battery yet. So I threaded it through, ran it up underneath the engine block, and then put it in, zip tied some of the wires down, and then put them on the battery, and I had the winch out, and we were using it, and pulling. I didn't use it to pull anything yet, but
we're testing it.
Other than my neighbor, yeah. So plugged everything in, and yeah, it was pretty cool. It was so I got that working as well. So that was something I got to check off the list that I didn't even really plan to have to get done, but I got it done anyway.
That's good. A Saturday night we ventured out. We ventured out to Granville.
Ooh.
Yeah, we figured we're like, let's just, spend the afternoon, evening out there. It's 30 minutes away from our house. Like, it's good. And we get out there, and Willie was just being a total jerk. It was just, it was tough.
You didn't like it?
No, it was a tough day.
What were you doing out there?
We went there was a brewery called, I think it's Granville Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Like, they've got a nice little outside. They had a cat, like a brewery cat. which was cool.
Oh,
He was
good.
very interested in the cat.
Just chase the cat around.
Yeah, and there was no kitchen at this place, but in his mind, he's like, Cat's going into the kitchen to work. I'm like, well, there's no kitchen, but you can't go back there. All he was trying to do was get behind the bar, like into the kitchen, which was just their brewery.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not a place for you. And then went outside.
The cat went back there.
Yeah, the cat went back there, so I'm allowed there. And then we went outside because it was nice. It was breezy, but it was a nice night to be outside on Saturday. And we got some chalk down for him, to write. There were other kids
Did you
there.
bring the chalk, or
No. It was there. It was the brewery's chalk.
Yeah.
Great place. Enjoyed it. Would love to go back out there again. But the problem was that then he would just put the chalk in his mouth. And then I'd have him spit it out, and he's just sitting there shaking his head. Yuck. Yuck. And then 2 seconds later, he would go back to the bucket and put another piece of chalk in his mouth. I'm like, dude, if you don't like it, don't put it in your mouth. And then it became a game because then I would have to chase him around to spit the chalk out of his mouth.
If he wants to chew on chalk, just let him chew on the chalk. Maybe he was hoping the red tasted better than the yellow.
I think that's what it was because every time it was a different color.
Of course.
Does the yellow
looks
taste
good.
different than the pink? Who knows? Let's try it.
Pink looks kind of like a strawberry. I mean, if you associate the colors with flavors, you know what? Go for it.
Yeah, so we did that on Saturday. Was happy to put him to bed 20 minutes early.
The good news is when he has stomach aches or any type of antacid later, he'll have no problem eating the Tums.
No, of course not, man.
Well, Courtney hates Tums. She's like, it tastes like chalk. I'm like,
it is.
I like Tums. I could eat them all day long. So I've never tasted chalk per se, but
it's got to be similar.
Does it?
I have never tasted chalk either. At least in this current iteration of myself. Maybe when I was his age, I did.
Big chalk eater, Brandon Beam?
Yeah. What's better, that or sniffing glue?
I don't know. Maybe you do them both. It's a full dinner and a show right there.
It really is. And then yesterday, they went to a park in the morning, and I got a ton of yard work done. So it was pretty nice.
I got a ton of yard work done, too. My kids mowed the grass, front and back.
How great is that
I got to do some weed whacking. I'll tell you this. And thankfully, my daughter, because they rotate, and they're like, we just mowed it. I'm like, I know you just mowed it.
Yeah.
That's what happens in Ohio. We put some fertilizer on it, and then it gets hot during the day, it's cold at night, and it's rained a ton. So it grows about an inch a day.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to mow it every fourth or fifth day so it doesn't clump up, or unless you want to bag it, which you always complain about that. And it's not good. We want to try to put the nutrients back into the grass. Yeah, they did that. I got a weed whack. But I've told them at times, I go, it would almost be easier for me to just mow it myself than to fight you about mowing it. But thankfully, RJ mowed the front. I gave him that. I got back from the soccer game. Boom, it was mowed.
Is Colin at the age yet where he can mow?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So RJ, RJ mows the front. He's been cleared to be able to get straight
That's a lot. That's a big honor.
It is because everybody sees that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he knows one day we go horizontal, the next day we go diagonal. And so it has that nice, especially you're mowing every fourth day.
The Arlington cross cut.
It looks like a nice double cut right there.
Yeah.
So it looks good. And then I also have trained now, if we see dandelions, the dandelion sprays up there, go spray them and kill them right now. We're not going to let them breed and manifest and be everywhere. There's dandelion-free yard. No weeds in here. And then McLean and Cullen rotate on the back.
Sharks Yard's all weeds.
Well, that's by design.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's an S on the end, though.
Oh, no, it's weed.
Yeah.
My bad.
But yeah, so then the younger ones, they split the back. And I don't know if McLean will ever graduate to the front because she hasn't put enough pride into it, I don't think, to be worthy of mowing the front.
It's a big honor, man.
It really is. I said when everybody sees that, when they walk by, we've got our flowers. I'm going to have to I might start teaching RJ how to trim bushes this year, which that'll be a backyard job at first where you can't see them as much. But yeah, it's I got to get that done too. So a lot of good stuff, though.
Spencer Holbrook of Lettermen Row. He's going to join the program. We'll talk about some landing spots for the Buckeyes in the draft with him coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Traffic is slow this morning on the east side. I-70 westbound between the county line and I-270. Also, you'll find slowdowns on State Route 161 eastbound between Johnstown Road and Beach Road. Traffic's a little heavy as well on South High Street between Row Road and London Groveport. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet, Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from refilings.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Now at White Castle, you can get 12 chicken rings for just $3.99. Tender on the inside, crispy on the outside. Choose from classic or our new Cheddar Blast flavor made with real cheddar cheese. White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only at participating castles. Tax not included.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
1 hour away from right now, our good friend Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program, talk about some draft. As for now, we head up to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check in with our guy of Lettermen Row. He is Spencer Holbrook. Spence, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. 14 Buckeyes taken in the 2025 NFL Draft. It is a school record. It was also a school record for 7 taken in the top 45. All in all, another fantastic draft for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, what a recruiting pitch this entire weekend was. You know, you want to be an offensive lineman, come get developed here. You can go in the first round, or you want to be a wide receiver, obviously first round. You want to be a defensive lineman, well, you're probably going to get drafted. I mean, up and down the board, no matter how you slice it. Even the guys who, you know, a lot of times they say if you're here for 4 or 5 years, you're not going to make it in the NFL. Well, all of those guys got drafted. So it just an incredible mark for the program, a great weekend for Ryan Day and the thing that he's built. And, you know, I don't know if they'll ever get to 14 again because of the way college football is constructed. So, I mean, what a draft for the Buckeyes.
Most surprising draft pick for the Buckeyes, Spencer, either high, low, whatever you think.
I was surprised in a great way to see Jordan Hancock come off the board in the 5th round. I thought there were a lot of people who had him in like the 6th, 7th. Some people even had him undrafted. I think he goes to a great spot with the Bills, and I know that's not like the sexiest thing to talk about, but like they need a nickel. Their free safety is Damar Hamlin. You know, there's opportunity there for Jordan Hancock to come in, show what he showed at Ohio State, and make a splash. And so I was pleasantly surprised that somebody, you know, got him in the 5th round. And I think he's actually going to have a really good NFL career for somebody who was taken in that 5th round.
How about your Pittsburgh Steelers doubling down on Buckeyes, taking Jack Sawyer, and then swiftly following, you have Will Howard starting his NFL career in the city of Pittsburgh?
I'm really not sure how nobody saw the Jack Sawyer to the Steelers thing coming. I mean, the T.J. Watt School of Defensive End also has Isaiah Loudermilk and Nick Herbig. I mean, like, it's just like that style of edge rusher, outside linebacker. That's what Jack Sawyer is going to be in the NFL. And so if we were to say, like, oh, where's he going to go? We probably overthought it a little too much, and we should have just smashed the Pittsburgh button because it was just too easy to see coming. And then Will Howard, like, I thought he should have been a 3rd or 4th round pick. I thought he was a lot better, especially like Dylan Gabriel. But that, I mean, that Browns are going to Browns, I guess. But you know, for Will Howard to go in the 6th round and now have a chance to make that roster, and I think compete for the job just because of the way he carries himself, the demeanor, the stuff that he's going to do in the locker room, like. You got to be excited about the opportunity that he has, and maybe he doesn't capitalize on it. Maybe they choose to go in a different direction, and he's not ever a high-level starter in the NFL. But, man, like you get your opportunity to do that, and if you can take advantage of one opportunity in the NFL, you can be here for a long time. And I think Will Howard has the chance to do that in Pittsburgh, especially because that quarterback depth chart, I think I could talk to you guys for 3 hours about the Steelers quarterback situation. So I'm excited for Will to see what he can do, and especially seeing it in black and gold, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Should be definitely a lot of fun, Spence, as we look at this. Cody Simon first got off the board on Saturday morning. I was anticipating that being Jack Sawyer. A little surprised that he went that high, but I was very excited for him as well.
Yeah, he's, I think, another guy who's just going to have a long, solid career. I think the Cardinals needed some linebacker help. He's going to fill a hole there. I really, his tape speaks for itself. I think he can do a little bit of everything. Bob, linebacker much better than anything I could say. But I just really like that landing spot, and we'll see what he does. But another guy who projected 4th, 5th, 6th round, and he goes, like you said, the top of day 3. That's a good spot for him, because now you know that you've got some, the ability to stay on a roster for a few years as a 4th round pick, even if you start your career a little slowly. I really like where he's at to start his NFL career.
He is Spencer Holbrook of Lettermen Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Any surprise to you, Spence, that Quinshawn went a couple of picks ahead of Travion?
Yeah, but I thought it was a little bit of pick your style. For the Browns, I think Quinshawn is a great pick. That Nick Chubb mold, violent, physical running back. And for Travion, like the Patriots, you couldn't ask for a better landing spot. If you look at the Patriots roster, I think Travion is the most athletic and explosive guy on their roster already, just from day one, just because of the way that he has that home run ability. Nobody in that offense really does. So I love the landing spot for both of those guys. The fact that Quinshawn went a few picks ahead, I think, is just a matter of the Browns were picking ahead of the Patriots, and the Browns' style with Kevin Stefanski and the way that they run the ball probably matches what Quinshawn does a little bit better. And so that's the reasoning there. But I was surprised when you hear Ohio State running back and it's not Travion first off the board. That kind of pops, just because I thought Travion might go 33 overall to the Browns. But the Browns got their guy, the Patriots got their guy, and I think both those guys are going to have, the opportunity to show what they can do pretty much from day one.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting there, and I thought the Browns were 100% taking Trey, and when like you said, they go Q, it was a little bit of a surprise, maybe even a surprise to Q, because apparently he was in the bathroom when he got selected.
That was crazy.
Having to slide out. Have you ever seen anything like that before, Spence?
No, but I was listening to a show the other day that said that the McCourty brothers had the same thing, and so the other twin answered the phone instead of the one who was drafted. So
did they just pretend like they were each other then?
I think so, yeah. But I mean, I'm sure that has happened before, but the fact that it was an early 2nd round pick when everyone's locked in on the draft and it's Quinshawn's mom answering the phone instead, and ESPN kind of insinuating that Quinshawn was in the bathroom and Quinshawn says, no, I was just getting something to drink. Maybe one day we'll find the real truth on what was going on there. But
do you think he drinks out of the bathroom?
Maybe he was doing both, yeah. I mean, who's to say? Who are we to judge, Bob?
The fact that Lane Kiffin tweeted out what he did, too. Did you see this, Bob? Lane Kiffin tweeted out something when Quinshawn missed his call from the Browns and said, man, his own family must not have paid him enough to attend the draft party. I'm like, Lane, what are you doing? Why are you being such a big troll right now? I mean, it was classic Lane Kiffin, though.
Listen, he's salty, dude. He's a surly man. That's unbelievable. What are your thoughts? I know, obviously not a Buckeye here. When Will Johnson fell out of the first round, Spence, I thought he would be one of the first 2 or 3 picks off the board in the 2nd round. I really liked him as a player. Maybe not enjoyed him as a player, but appreciated what he did. Surprised to see him fall there to the middle of the 2nd?
I really was. And you just kept looking up at the screen. It was almost like, if there wasn't a Shedeur Sanders in this draft class, we would have been talking about Will Johnson's fall, because like you said, Bobby, you don't have to enjoy watching it, but man, he was so good. And that's a former 5-star prospect. Never had those super long-term injuries that keep you out for a year that we know of. But they talk about that knee as if it's something that a lot of NFL teams did not really want to take a first-round chance on. And the longevity of those corners with the way how much they have to cut, how much they have to run, down the field. Maybe there is something there in those medicals that, the medicals don't lie, I guess, but it's going to be a lot of fun, I do know, for the Cardinals and us to look at Denzel Burke as a late-round selection and Will Johnson as a second-round selection and just see what those two guys are made of, because they've got a chance to be the cornerbacks there. I looked at the Cardinals depth chart just to check out what Denzel's up against, and, it doesn't look great. And so there's a chance that Will Johnson and Denzel Burke could be corners together in Arizona, and we can kind of start to compare their careers a little bit, because Will was a 3-year starter at Michigan, Denzel's a 4-year starter at Ohio State. That could be a fun little wrinkle to this draft that we didn't see coming, but it's a result of, Will and his ability falling all the way down, like you said, in the middle of the 2nd round.
I like the landing spot for the Panthers for Lathan. He was the 2nd Buckeye taken off the board on that Saturday afternoon. A few picks after Cody Simon at 122 to the Panthers.
Yeah, and again, I don't mean to keep saying it, but you look through these depth charts and you think like, okay, we saw him do this, and this in college. Why can't he do that in the NFL? He's another guy who, for a mid-round pick, they say that Super Bowls are won on day 3. Like, he's a guy that the Panthers obviously saw some value in, and I think he's got a chance to step in, show what he can do against the run, that pop that he showed late in the season last year, knocking guys out of games left and right. The way that he can defend the pass, I really like the way he moves. And he had a great pro day. I don't mean to keep saying it, but I think a lot of these guys landed in spots where you could see most of these guys starting relatively quickly in the NFL, especially because a lot of them were taken rounds 1 through 5 when you are collecting starters.
Hey, Spence, before we get you out of here, Justin Terry committed to Ohio State over the weekend out of the transfer portal from West Virginia. He is a Pickerington guy. Just thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love it. You're adding a bigger-bodied guard or tackle. You can kind of mold him the way that his body takes him and Coach Mick wants him to go. You got 4 years out of him, so he's basically just an extension of that recruiting class where Justin Fry took some smaller classes. You're extending that recruiting class and grabbing a guy who redshirted at West Virginia and now can work not only with Tyler Bowen, but Charlie Dickey, with Marcus Johnson. Like, the way that those guys are going to try to mold him, if he's a starter in 2 or 3 years, then you've done a great job. If he's a role player for a few years, or even if he develops for a couple years and enters the transfer portal, you're getting your numbers back up on the offensive line, which is what you had to do, and you're adding a guy who knows what it's like to be a Buckeye because he's from Pickerington. I love this move. We'll see if it works out, but for right now, with 4 years left, I absolutely love this move.
He is the noted nephew of Aunt Karen Holbrook.
Absolute drunken orgies.
Is she excited for the Kentucky Derby this weekend, Spence? She seems like a Churchill Downs big hat kind of gal to me.
Yeah, she tries to act all official and very proper, and then the mint juleps start flowing for sure. Big time fan of the Kentucky Derby. We're gonna watch. We've got a Kentucky Derby party coming up, so I'm really excited for that. And then, if I can, fellas, if this is my final time on with you guys, this is the best morning show I've ever listened to. I listen to it very often. I appreciate what you guys have done. So thank you so much for making the mornings better for Columbus. And, I'll be listening to both of you guys wherever you guys are next.
Spence, always appreciate the time. Thanks for the kind words, buddy. Have a fantastic week. Maybe or maybe not. We'll check in with you again. It's a great mystery, all right?
All right. Sounds great, guys. Thanks.
There you go. Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to get Juice next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
An accident on US 23 northbound at I-270 south side blocks the left lane. Traffic is stop and go approaching. It's a truck leaking fluid in the area, so it could take some time to clear. Also, 670 westbound is closed between US 33 and I-70 because of an accident. And you'll find traffic slowing on the west side on I-70 westbound between Hilliard-Rome Road and State Route 142. The 2 left lanes are closed. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
This spring, celebrate the sparkle that she brings to your life with something that sparkles right back. Whether it's for Mother's Day, an anniversary, or just because, Diamond Cellar has the perfect gift for the women who mean the world to you. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Selma Road and at Easton Town Center.
Hey guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts today at Low T Center for a free consultation and free test. The treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurance is accepted. And you'll get the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. The offer is limited, so book now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com. Or stop in today at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway in Grove City.
Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, which brand of air conditioner is the most energy efficient?
It's the one that's had its outside coils cleaned correctly.
Well, I can wash those off with a garden hose, right?
No.
Why not?
Humidity mixes with dust and pollen to create a microthin film of sticky paste that gets baked onto those hot outside coils.
And that baked-on stuff keeps my coils from releasing their heat into the atmosphere.
Which means your system has to run longer, which uses a lot more energy and it shortens the life of your air conditioner.
Get Eco.
ECO. How do I get that baked-on stuff off?
Remove the exterior shroud, then spray the coils from the inside out with a special eco-friendly solvent.
Can I rinse the solvent off with a garden hose?
Yeah, but only from the inside out.
Or I could just pay Eco to do it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco doesn't take shortcuts. We do it the right way every time.
Get Eco Professional Coil Cleaning for just $468.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
From the hardwood to the warehouse, performance matters. That's why Caster Connection, proudly based in Columbus and trusted nationwide, delivers industrial caster and wheel solutions to keep operations rolling smoothly. With an unrivaled online inventory and the best consultative experts in the industry, we'll help you find the right caster for any job. Shop now at casterconnection.com and save 10% on online orders with promo code ROLL10.
Not a retail location.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here with an opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th. Yes, pounds, and why not? I dropped my first 40 in just 8 weeks. It was easy, and it will be easy for you too. Take the medication-free and lasting approach. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Common Man and Timmy are hosting afternoons together. Best friends, lots of jokes none of us understand. Not safe for work Instagram models. God help us.
Help! Help! What should we do?
Weekdays at 3, starting May 12th.
The Fan.
I'm in this weird part of my life. I really am.
Bill Burr, Drop Dead Years, a hilarious stand-up special, is now streaming on Hulu.
I am getting along with my wife better than I ever have. All you have to do is agree to something that you would never do. Farmer's market? Oh boy, would I! My buddy dies. I show up to the funeral. Open casket. You told me he was dead. I believed you.
Bill Burr, Drop Dead Years, is now streaming on Hulu.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit casterconnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
In high school, Bobby was a district swimming finalist. Also, Beamer still wears floaties. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up next hour, Joshua Perry. He's going to join the program coming up at 8:30, a little bit later on.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bob, big Monday coming off the NFL draft right into Derby week. What's got you fired up, buddy?
Oh, bud, it's a beautiful weekend. That was fun. My man Caleb, my second grader, they made it to the finals in their soccer tournament. Their team isn't the greatest of all the teams my kids have been on, and so I never thought they'd make it to a final. They made it there.
Cup final, big day.
They actually had, the 1-0 lead, and then they got run on a little bit, so it wasn't a great finale or a great finish, but they did make it there, and so I was proud of those guys working hard and getting a chance to go play that Sunday afternoon game, which I did not have in my selection set of things to get done. So I had that. 14 Buckeyes getting drafted. Would have loved to have seen just one more, just to at least tie the record.
Shocked that Seth McLaughlin didn't get picked.
I am. I thought Seth would get drafted somewhere near at the end, maybe G. Scott too. So I thought 16 was a possibility. Thought 15 was a probability to tie the all-time record, and so they're one shy still. It's the second time Ohio State has had 14 players drafted, with the other being in 2003. So pretty awesome there. From that standpoint. Then also, Beam, we got our ratings book in, and just want to thank everybody for all the continued support, for everything we did. And Spence had some unbelievably kind words before we just went to break, but great numbers again. We were first in men and second in adults for the whole winter book, which is January, February, March, and then also in our most recent March book as well. So excited, folks. Thank you for just the continued support and all of that, and the wild success that this has been. Unfortunately, just due to the powers that be and things like that, Beam, we'll be going our separate ways here within 2 weeks. But don't worry, you're going to get some ping pong in the afternoons. Shark, what's got you juiced?
Schlegs has me juiced.
Last night, I was starving, so I drove to Bob Evans.
And I was like, man, do I buy eggs or do I just make some? Because, I'm trying to get sexy. I've been on 2 cruises. So I stopped at Bob Evans there in Circleville. I ate a Western omelet, right? No carbs.
What time was this?
This was probably like at 8 o'clock.
Breakfast for dinner.
I love breakfast for dinner.
Can't beat
so
that.
Good.
I stayed till the bitter end with the draft on Saturday afternoon. It was great to see Luke Lachey get picked third from last, right?
254, 255.
Something like that. So good for him. Jim Lachey now becomes a huge Houston Texans fan.
Teaming up with CJ.
Yep.
And Cade.
Yeah. A couple of Ohio guys.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable.
Things got so bad yesterday for the Guardians that they used catcher Austin Hedges to pitch the 9th inning. He was probably our best pitcher yesterday. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 run, but he did strike out a batter, so that's pretty good.
So let me ask you this.
Throwing cookies
do you think that they ask guys who wants to go in and pitch, or do you think you'll get warmed up, you're going to pitch?
I think that they probably tell you. They have an idea of who they can put out there.
Are you excited or are you nervous? I mean,
I think he was probably excited. It's the 6th time that he's pitched in a major league game. So, yeah, he's got some experience doing this stuff. I got to say this. I didn't know, for 50 years, from 1965 to 2015, New York hosted the NFL draft, and then the league finally decided to take the show on the road, which was a great decision. I wasn't sure how Green Bay would handle, the population of Green Bay is like 105,000.
Whole county's like 200. I mean, it's not big.
They had 600,000 there for the draft this weekend.
I don't know where they all stayed.
I don't either. Obviously,
they just went back home after
Milwaukee, Madison. I mean, yeah, there aren't enough rooms in that town.
600K, more than 500,000 people descended upon the small town of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
It's pretty amazing. And then
just to watch some dudes call out names.
I had a hot date on Saturday night with my wife. Dropped a couple hundy on a dinner, and then we went to see Beautiful Noise.
Where'd you go?
We went to Hank's Seafood.
Oh, downtown?
Yeah.
How was it? It looks awesome.
It was awesome.
Was it?
It was awesome, yeah.
It looks beautiful. The aesthetic in there looks very pleasing.
Yeah, it's a top-notch place. But we went to see Beautiful Noise, the kind of the Neil Diamond story, and that was really good. And we were like 10th row, so the music was loud enough that I could sing full voice and nobody would hear me. So that had me juiced, Beam.
What's got me juiced? Good weekend that we had. Again, William was kind of being a jerk on Saturday, but that's all right. Swiftly followed it up with a trip to the zoo. It's a good Sunday afternoon tradition for us and what we do, like 3 o'clock, 3:30. Let's just go out there. You guys are only open till 5. That's going to be good. Asked him, was like, what was your favorite animal? Turtles. We were a big turtle guy yesterday. Had the big tortoise turtle swimming around in there, and he was just following them around back to back. So that was fun. Did that yesterday. Like I said, got a lot of yard work done. But to your point, Bob, very nice of everybody reaching out as well. I still have a bunch of emails I need to respond to and texts, and my phone's still been crazy off the hook. I did see this over the weekend, which has me fired up. I mean, you could do weeks and weeks and weeks of shows about just LeBron stats and LeBron numbers. Let me fire this at you guys. You know what year LeBron was drafted?
2003.
Okay, 2003. All right, so I just wanted to make that aware to everybody out there. 2003 is when LeBron came into the league. Since 1996, let's play a little higher or lower for you. Who has more playoff victories, LeBron James or the Golden State Warriors? More playoff victories since 1996, LeBron or the Warriors?
I would say LeBron, just because Golden State wasn't very good until 10 years ago.
Okay, the Golden State Warriors have 114 playoff wins. LeBron or the Boston Celtics between 1996 and now?
They've got a title in there.
They have multiple titles in there.
They were,
really good team, Boston Celtics.
I'm trying to think of how good they were before he got in. That's the thing. Because since he's been in, this is giving another 7 years on that or so. I'm going to say the Celtics got him.
Okay, the Celtics. Sharky, you have a guess? Celtics or LeBron?
I'm going to go LeBron.
All right, the Celtics have 153. LeBron has more than that. Who has more playoff wins since 1996? The San Antonio Spurs or LeBron James?
There's 5 titles in there.
Yeah.
But they haven't been good the last couple years.
Yeah, it's been a while since
I would say LeBron then.
LeBron has more than the San Antonio Spurs. How about the Miami Heat? A lot of these in which LeBron was involved with.
Well, yeah, so he doubled up on some of those.
They also had Dwayne Wade and Shaq and all those guys.
They won a title before him.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been to a final after him as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's no joke.
It is no joke. And they were good in 97. That's when I think
Well, D. Wade was in the same draft.
Yeah, but they were good before that. Tim Hardaway and Zoe and those guys, that was in like the mid to late 90s. I'm going to say the Heat have more.
The Miami Heat have 161. LeBron James, since 1996, has had more playoff wins than every NBA franchise with 184.
Oh, my.
They also have a 7-year head start on him from 96 to 2003 when he entered the league.
Really, till 2005, because he didn't make the playoffs his first 2 seasons.
Absolutely crazy. I saw that the weekend. I'm like, all right, that's a pretty good little stat nugget. So LeBron continuing to do, obviously, unbelievable things, even though they find themselves in a big hole against the Timberwolves. So that kind of had me juiced reading stuff like that. You just kind of take him for granted for where he's at right now, but has been remarkable. The old saying is if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. But what happens when you have 5? That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
An accident has left traffic stop and go on US 23 northbound at I-270 south side. Your left lane is blocked, so traffic is stop and go in the area. Also, plan for slowdowns in the East Outer Belt northbound. I'm seeing delays between US 33 southeast and I-70 and on between East Broad Street and Hamilton Road. So plan for those slowdowns. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV. RCD RV's open house is May 3rd through the 10th, and they have over 650 RVs in stock.
Visit RCD in Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gehanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. "These windows were great." Oh boy, for about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew, in quotes for some reason, my windows way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Cheer on your Reds as they face the Nationals in a weekend set May 2nd through the 4th. The series includes the first Fireworks Friday of the season, presented by Columbia Chevrolet. Come back on Saturday when the ballpark will transform into a galaxy far, far away for Star Wars Night. Fans in attendance will receive a Reds Clone Trooper bobblehead thanks to Skyline Chili while supplies last. For tickets and more information, visit Reds.com/tickets.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know firsthand what it's like to battle through joint pain. After years of the hard hits and the wear and tear on the field, I thought pain, it was just going to be something I had to live with. Let me tell you, that's no longer the case thanks to QC Kinetics. For over 8 years, QC Kinetics has been leading the charge nationwide in non-surgical joint pain relief, helping over 50,000 patients get back to doing what they love, pain-free. Whether it's your knees, back, hips, shoulders, you pick it. If joint pain's been slowing you down, you need to hear about what Dr. Aaron Walkoff and his team in Columbus are doing. They're using cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologic treatments with powerful healing properties to repair and restore damaged joint tissue. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Just real results. The kind of treatment I wish I had access to during my playing days, and now you do. Imagine this summer playing around a golf, chasing the kids, and just enjoying a walk without the pain. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-2845-44. They now have offices in Grove City and Canal Winchester.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Beds are us when dreams don't get in. Beds are us.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Evan Cohen here. When the draft clock is ticking, you've got to pick the best talent, regardless of position, to fit your team's needs. Well, if you're hiring for your business, you want to find the best talent for any of your roles. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology hustles to find qualified candidates for your job immediately. And if you see a standout candidate, ZipRecruiter lets you personally invite them to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning, I'm Mark. The Shark Cavaliers lead the Heat 3-0 in their first-round NBA playoff series with Game 4 set for tonight. Cleveland is coming off a 124-87 win at Miami in Game 3, handing the Heat their worst-ever playoff loss. This evening's game is also in Miami. In baseball, it was a great weekend for the Reds in Denver. They swept the Rockies in the 3-game series, outscoring them 22-12. The story yesterday was starter Nick Lodolo, who had a no-hitter until there were 2 outs in the 6th. He wound up pitching 7 shutout innings as the Reds whipped the Rockies 8-1. Not such a good weekend for the Guardians at home against the Red Sox. They lost 2 of 3 and were clobbered 13-3 yesterday. Cedon Rafaela had a homer and 5 RBIs for Boston. The Sports Center is sponsored by RCD RV. Their open house is May 3rd through the 10th, and they have over 650 RVs in stock. Visit RCD in Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala.
One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour 3 for us here on a Monday. Coming up a little bit later on with us at 8:30 this morning, the venerable Joshua Perry. He joins us to react to all things draft coming up in a half hour.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
Good to see the crew get back to winning ways. Max Arfston hit a ball about 600 miles an hour for the game-winning goal for the crew on Saturday against San Jose. Absolutely smoked it. So a good 2-1 victory for them. They were at home against Charlotte coming up this weekend. Cavs blew the doors off the Heat Saturday in their matinee. Game 4 is tonight. Potential for a sweepage, but that was a South Beach Cavalanche if we've ever seen it.
Yep. Bringing the North Remembers beam?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
You know what is awesome, Shark, is I was watching one of the NBA promotional, playoff commercials.
Yeah.
And they had Donovan Mitchell in there, and he was, prominently featured, and he was the first guy. It's you know what? Give it a little love to Cleveland. I mean, I feel like Cleveland gets crapped on with so much And like most Ohio sports, like, yeah, it's whatever. It's not big market, all this stuff. So they don't want to feature the stars. And
he is a star. It's inarguable.
Well, and they're the number one seed in the East. You know, I mean,
a 3-0 lead in the first round.
Gosh, it was good to see.
It's a good way to start your day off, though, Sharky. 1 o'clock on Saturday. That's a good way for you to do that.
Yeah, I got to watch with Mom up in Ashland.
How's she doing?
How was the yard work, by the way?
No yard work
yet.
I got an estimate from a local landscaper to do the edging, the weeding of the beds, the mulching. So
you gonna take the deal?
I told my dad I'm not doing it this year. I'm not doing it.
So are your parents going to pay for it, or are you going to pay for it?
They're paying for it.
Good. There you go.
He balked at that, and I said, okay, then we just won't do it.
You strong-arming your dad?
Yes.
By the way, if I were you, I'm about to retire. Okay, I live in a condo where they do the stuff for me.
Right. I sold my house so I wouldn't have to do landscaping anymore.
I don't want to drive an hour to do landscaping for you.
Back-breaking work.
And then you tell me.
When I have 9 grandkids.
Exactly. You know what you should do? I guess that would be their great-grandfather. Like, that's what my son goes back, and I was like, you guys go help Grandpa, man. Well, my dad's got like a Cadillac lawnmower, and he enjoys mowing the grass. So he goes, Bob, we were talking about it.
It's like Zen time.
It is. Well, it's RJ told me, he's like, Dad, mowed the grass, felt good. He's like, I look at it. And I was like, you take pride of ownership, completion phenomenon.
Yep.
You get a chance to look at it and be like, look at everything that I've done.
Instant gratification,
I pulled that winch out there and I plugged in the deal and I look at this bad boy. It works. Here we go. I hooked this thing up.
Like me with the shower a couple of weeks ago. It took me 3.5 hours to do it. By gosh, I did it.
But you felt good about it. And so I send my kids back. You can go help Grandpa out a little bit. I'll help him some, but you know what? We don't have as much land to tend up here, so you can go do what I did growing up and help my dad. But he goes, you need a good 2-3 hour time to mow the lawn. I was like, Dad, I wouldn't mind doing that. I actually enjoy it. The reality is I don't have the time. You were retired. That is the highlight of your day. You built everything around Gunsmoke.
But you know what?
John
He's worked his whole damn life to get to this point where he can watch old-time TV and enjoy mowing the grass.
I told my mom, she pretends to be so busy. I was like, Mom, you were retired. You have checks sent to you in the mail for doing nothing. Now, like, you could probably pay somebody to come in and feed you, and you wouldn't even have to do that.
Jello time.
So don't tell me exactly. It's no joke. But I told him, I was like, you choose to do everything. And she's like, all your dad does is watch. If it wasn't for the cows, he wouldn't do anything. I'm like, well, yeah, he gets them out, does a little bit with the cows. I do most of it. Okay, well, good for you, Mom. I appreciate you go bottle feed the cows and the babies and stuff like that, little calves. And she does what she needs to do. I was like, Dad worked his whole life. Like, I was not delusional at all about what he was going to do in retirement. He's going to come watch his grandkids. He's going to mow the grass. And then he was going to do a lot more of what he always did, was watch sports and Westerns and old movies on TV. The quad box for him would be Gunsmoke, Bonanza, Pick Your John Wayne Movie, and Gilligan's Island.
That's his scrolly fun time.
Yes, I go, that doesn't get on the internet. He does get on the internet, but he doesn't have social media or any of that stuff. I send him things, whatever. He wakes up and listens to this show, and that's kind of the start of his day. And outside of that, I mean, he's just enjoying life.
That sounds great.
It does.
In my retirement, I'd like to move somewhere down on a beach hut and just have a fishing charter. That's what I would like to do every day. A small little boat.
Indian Red?
Yeah, just a small little boat that I can take out somewhere and go fish every day. Like, we were down in the Bahamas. We went for our honeymoon. Yeah. It was great. We went to this bar. It was like the launch point of the boats were at some bar. And like after all the fishermen came in, they had a couple of grills going. They were eating there. They were out. They were drinking beers, enjoying life. I'm like, you know what? That seems pretty good to me. That's like an ideal life for me at the end of everything. That seems awesome.
100%. To do it, everybody's dream of retirement is different. What you want to do. Like, who am I to judge this? It's like, I would advise some level of physical activity so that you can enjoy that retirement as long as possible by
I'll take Theo for a walk in retirement.
You think it'll still be? Can you? Okay, so this is what my wife loves to make fun of my mom and our family in general. That's what the sister-in-laws do, but there is some truth to it. So my mom had a black cat with little white paws growing up.
Okay.
When I was younger.
What was its name?
Mittens, of course.
Yeah. Either that or Jinxie.
Originality's high. So, and it was a longer-haired cat. My dad's allergic to cats and allergic to dogs, but he also has dogs too, so whatever. And so I remember, Mittens passed away, Toby passed away, our dog. And then they got, my mom, when I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade, got another cat. And it looked like Mittens, and we just called it Mittens again.
No way you called it Mittens again.
I didn't call it Mittens. My mom basically named it. So she's on
Did it go by Mittens too, or just straight up stole the name Mittens?
It kind of started that. It was MJ Mittens Jr., and then it just started going by Mittens. And now she's on like Mittens 4 or 5. So I just want you to keep getting dogs. Just give him Theo. Just keep naming him Theo.
What kind of dog was Theo? He's a dachshund. Theo 1 was a pit bull.
It doesn't matter. So just keep naming him the same thing over and over again. And that way, like when you get older, you'll never
what
be
was
seen.
My dog's name? Theo.
Yeah, Theo. They're all Theo. You'll never forget. You'll never call it by the wrong name. It's just all the same.
God, that's a great point. I think everybody should do that. Once you have committed to a pet's name, now it's different if you get a girl dog compared to a boy dog or girl cat, boy cat.
Nope, boy and girl cats, both Mittens. Doesn't matter.
Theodosia, very, very prominent.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fine.
You call them whatever. Dude, you're in charge. It's your pet. You make the rules. So you'll be taking
Theo, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, by that time, I mean, if you can get a good 10 to 12 years out of each one, maybe a year, 6 months for mourning in there before you find the next dog. I mean, I think...
Yeah, he's 4 now.
You'll probably be on like Theo 5.
If I can get another 8 years out of Theo 1, I'd feel happy about it. He's a big dog. He's right under 100 pounds. That's a pretty good life, anywhere from 10 to 12.
You're getting plus... If you got a big dog and you get 10 plus, I mean, that's a win. And so there you go. You can be like on Theo 5 by that point.
I don't know why I've never thought about that. It's a great idea.
Billy will come back with Billy Jr. and be like, hey, what was your dog's name growing up? Theo. Well, just like Grandpa's. Yeah, all Grandpa's dogs have been named Theo.
All of them.
All of them.
Through the history and course of time.
I mean, you need to get pictures of them. They can be like
Theo.
They can be like the presidents. As you put them up just in your house, all lined up, all the wall of Theo.
They all did the same exact thing. They hated to go in the car, and now Theo 1 can't jump up in bed because he's too nervous on the hardwood floor. So we had to put a carpet down for him that he could jump up.
Because he would slip?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
He bit it over the weekend, and now he's refused. But he sits there and he just tap dances at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, dude, we need to do something about this.
Hey, buddy, I'm getting too old to deadlift a 100-pound dog up into the bed.
I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not picking him up. I refuse. I'm like, you have every ability in the world. I've seen you nearly jump over our privacy fence. I know you can hop up 2 feet to get up on bed.
Once bitten, twice shy, Beam.
The Buckeyes didn't break the draft record this weekend, but they still put up a monster number. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
It is slow because of an accident. US 23 northbound at I-270 south side. Your left lane is blocked. You're on the brakes from London Groveport Road. Also on the north side, I-71 northbound at North Broadway. The right lane is blocked here. And your stop and go from 11th Avenue. Also, traffic slows on the East Outer Belt northbound between East Broad Street and Hamilton Road. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes who are going above and beyond in their communities. Newman Roofing wants to recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in their towns to be recognized on 10TV and The Fan. Stay tuned as we begin announcing the selected honorees who truly embody the spirit of Newman Roofing's commitment to community.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, you're the Carfax guy.
The Carfax from Carfax.
Wow.
And you, sir, work at Tire Discounters.
I sure do.
The Carfax top-rated service center.
Oh, right. You know, a lot of that's because of our services. But people think we're just about tires.
Maybe it's your name.
Yeah.
Tire Discounters. And your jingle.
Oh, you like it?
I think it needs something.
Yeah? Like what?
Hit it! Plus brakes, oil changes, shocks, and struts, and more. Now that speaks to me.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Buy now with pre-tariff pricing at Coughlin Chevrolet, Central Ohio's #1 Chevy dealer. Lease a new 25 Chevy Trax, $139 a month, or a new 2025 Silverado, just $288 a month, at all 5 Coughlin Chevy locations and CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Trax is a 36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing. Silverado is a 24-month lease with $49.99 due. Both plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/25.
Going up. Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up. Going up. But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button. Going down. We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
You might need a light jacket in the morning with wake-up temperatures in the low 40s, but not in the afternoon as our highs soar into the low 80s with plenty of sunshine. Mostly clear skies tonight, lows in the 60s, and then for Tuesday, afternoon highs in the 80s with breezy winds, with the chances of strong to severe storms developing late afternoon to early evening. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. If you make a wisecrack about Dayton pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
It's not what you win or lose, it's the friends you make along the way. It's also what you save with Prime Sports Ohio. Betting reduced juice with Prime Sports Ohio. It's the way to save money on every single bet. Prime Sports is the only sports book where you can choose a professional account with minus 108 reduced juice betting, or sign yourself up for a regular recreational account with minus 110 juice. That also comes with a loyalty program where you can earn cash back on your bets. And if there's one thing I know about one Robert Carpenter, it's about loyalty.
Oh, absolutely. Loyalty is number one, Beam. Love you guys. Prime Sports offers the same betting limits to all members and does not, I repeat, does not put any restriction on winning players. So the winning just keeps coming. Prime Sports treats all members fairly and equally. So download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit online at PrimeSportsBook.com and use promo code JustSports for a welcome bonus of up to $100. Must be 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Please, terms and conditions apply. Please play responsibly.
All right, so we got through round one of the NFL draft. Saw 4 Buckeyes taken. On Friday, hit 3 of them, Quinshon, Travion, and JT. Quinshon going to the Browns at 36, Trey going to 38 to the New England Patriots, and then JT going at 45th to the Indianapolis Colts. You were at 7 guys through 45 picks. And that was the most all-time in the first 45 picks in Ohio State school history. Rest of the draft, Bob, you had 14 taken overall. Cody being the first Buckeye taken on Saturday, 115 to the Cards. Lathan, 122 to the Panthers. Jack, right after Lathan, 123 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ty Hamilton a little bit later in round number 5 to the Rams. Jordan Hancock, which may have been the steal of the draft, at 170 to the Bills. Denzel Burke at 174 to the Cardinals. And then finally, your last player taken in the draft was Will Howard at 185 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Be interested to see the pop that Quinshon is going to get in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Be interested to see what he looks like up there with everything that's going on, and what will certainly be not a new offense, but you're going to have a new player running the quarterback room, at least for the Brownies.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to use all those quarterbacks to block for him, I heard, Shark.
Is that what they're going to do? Is that their plan?
That was the plan.
Kick Deshaun out to left tackle?
They got Tommy Reese now as the offensive coordinator. He loves tight ends as much as Stefanski.
How about the Harold Fannin pick?
Yes.
I thought that was it's a great pick.
Bowling Green.
Someone asked me, they're like, on Twitter, they're like, do you rate, Fannin higher than, guys X, Y, and Z? I'm like, listen, I'm not watching 1,000 hours of tape like these NFL scouts are. I can tell you from the 4 or 5 Bowling Green games that I watched this year, that guy is good, and he will be good in the NFL.
No, Beam, that guy is good. They might ask you to be on the NFL Network.
They might.
Analysis like that.
They might. I was responding, I'm like, listen, I'm not grinding over film, but I can tell you that fella's a pretty damn good football player.
Yeah, he is. He's a talented guy.
Kyler asked me on X that over Helm and Mitchell Evans. I said, for me, yeah. I'm not grinding 1,000 hours of tape on these guys. I watch a fair amount of Bowling Green games and thought he was good.
Well, and the thing is, too, with tight ends, like there's differences of what you look for, how they move, how they play. Like it's like running back a little bit, and like receiver, depending on, well, this guy may have been better. Yeah, but did I need a 5'10" guy? I wanted probably a bigger outside guy. Like it's just kind of how you use them and what they do. So there's always those elements, too. It's a little bit of preference when it comes to it. But, the draft, there were more people that watched round 1 of the NFL draft and watched the 2024 highest rated peak moment of the NBA Finals.
And it's an event where nothing goes on.
By the way, you're hosting it in Green Bay, Wisconsin, so it's not like you've got this cityscapes, like some big, huge environment things. You're watching people read names
in a neighborhood.
Which is but there were a lot of people that turned out there. By the way, we haven't even gotten into this. Some of the prank calls that go on.
Oh, it was terrible.
And this is something that I guess has happened before. And people have asked me.
Someone else got prank called. I know Shedeur was the one, obviously.
What's his name? Ty Warren said he got called.
Yeah, that was it. It was Tyler Warren. Thank you.
Which, if someone gets your number and they know that this is part of it, and you get a call, and I don't know how they do this, these robocallers seem to get these phantom area codes where it's someone from the middle of Indonesia, but yet they have a 614 area code. I'm like, well, how do we get this done? Or
the nice thing about the iPhone is that says potential spam on the calls.
I love it.
Like, okay,
somehow
great.
they just mute the spam for me now. I don't even answer it. See half of them come through. But yeah, I get it. It's cruel. The fact that it was the Falcons D coordinator's son who snagged it off the iPad.
So here's the thing.
That may have been a bit extreme.
If you aren't aware of this situation, Shedeur Sanders was prank called. Was this round 1 or was this on Friday night?
I think it was probably on Friday night.
I think it was Friday night. Got a prank call. And obviously, and I didn't know this before the weekend, that the NFL gives you a phone. The NFL gave Shedeur Sanders a phone.
Oh, really?
It was not his personal phone. It was given to Shedeur Sanders on behalf of the NFL. In this circumstance,
when they started doing this.
I don't know when they started doing it. I don't know if they just do it for round 1 projection guys, if they give it to like the top 50 players.
Who's projecting these guys?
Exactly. But this phone that he received a call on was like an NFL issued phone.
Okay.
So like it has all the privacy. The number has never been leaked, but the number is given out.
So what do you do
to NFL executives, general managers, coaches if they want to reach out and talk to a guy?
So it's a legitimate call. What do you think they use those phones for afterwards?
I think
selling drugs,
anything that they want.
You get the burner. Do you keep your burner?
Now it's interesting because you do in the draft, like you do see guys with multiple phones. So it makes sense if the NFL issues them one.
Is this like Ethan Hawke? I mean, do they send it? Does the phone blow up afterwards? Is this a Mission Impossible? I want to know when they started doing this.
I don't know when they started doing it. I don't know, but I found that out. I was reading about this whole situation last night.
They're going to make me...
Yeah, text Breer.
Work in some of my connections, Beam, and do that.
Well, maybe if I work hard enough as you one day, I can develop some of those.
We'll help you develop those connections, Beam.
So the Falcons had to release a statement last night. It said earlier in the week, Jax Ulbrich, the 21-year-old son of defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number.
I like the term unintentionally.
For Shedeur Sanders off of an open iPad while visiting his parents' home, and wrote the number down to later conduct a prank call. Jeff Ulbrich was unaware of the data exposure or any facets of the prank and was made aware above only after the fact. The Falcons do not condone this behavior and send our sincerest apologies to Shedeur Sanders and his family, who we have been in contact with to apologize to, as well as facilitate an apology directly from Jax to the Sanders family. Here's the problem with the whole thing. Whether or not you think it's funny that this happened, which it's not, obviously, Jax Ulbrich is in the video where they're prank calling Shedeur Sanders. Get the hell out of that video, man. What are you doing? You're 21. You're probably not thinking anything of it. Your buddy's recording it, and you have the smoking gun that can tie back to your dad, who's a defensive coordinator in the NFL.
That's my point. Is I'm like, why would you record it, you idiot? It's like if you did this, no one would probably find out. Well, I say that the NFL, dude, they're like the U.S. government. They have sources deep inside Quantico, and they'll find that number and trace it back to whose it was. But the fact that we're going to film it now, like, what are we doing?
And we're going to post it.
I cannot. I'm texting a couple of my people here because I want to find out when they start doing these phones. And then I want to find out like what you do with the phone afterwards.
Maybe you just give them back. Are they yours? Is it a deal with whoever they have as a corporate sponsor? Hey, here's a free phone on behalf of AT&T, Verizon, whoever the phone sponsor deal is.
Yeah,
Samsung, I don't know.
The smoky treats there, Shark. You can order up some ladies of the night and then also buy some illicit drugs with all that stuff.
I'm almost wondering if that phone then becomes like your team phone. You know what I mean? Like if you need anything done through your team, if that just then becomes your phone to contact, like a business phone.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't have one of those.
My phone, I don't know, Beam. Listen.
It's my personal phone and business
With your
phone.
glow up in life, I mean, from what I've heard, the ascensions that you're making, the connections that are out there, you might want to get yourself a business phone.
I mean, maybe. I might have to be out there doing that. It is crazy, though, that it's the son of a defensive coordinator.
That's the problem. Like, if it was just some random person that went through great means to track his number down to do it, I would say kudos to you. I don't necessarily think it's all that terribly funny, but you know what? That's one thing. But a guy who knows his dad makes his living by coaching in the NFL, by the way, Ulrich, you went through a pretty rough year this year with the Jets.
Yes, he did.
Everything that happened.
He's looking for redemption.
And you're thinking, hey, you know what? I'm going to make my dad's life easier. I'm going to go look. Oh, he left his iPad open because he's probably not thinking that his 21-year-old son is going to go through that like it's another team that would have found information on it.
What are you doing, man? Shout out to Jeff Rimmer in the chat, YouTube chat. You can always watch on YouTube. He said, that's today's generation for you. Anything to get likes. It's so true.
Get the clicks.
It's so true. Anything to get the clicks. Anything to get the likes. That's it. That's all we're doing things for.
I love it. You know.
Do you love it?
I mean, you get the world that you deserve. You know what? And if you're going to be, this is what we've promoted in society, then this is what we get. If you permit it, you promote it. And we have permitted far too much going on and far too much craziness. And now we have to sit and stew in our own filth, Beam.
Yeah, because it was Tyler Warren. And I don't know if that was a Jax Ulbrich prank.
See, I had people calling me, like one of my friends, like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, listen, a-hole, I'm waiting for a call from someone else. I don't need
this number clear.
When my phone buzzes, I'm thinking that it might be someone of significance, not you texting me or calling me. It wouldn't maybe been a text, T9 Word back in the day on my flip phone.
Shout out to T9 Word, man.
But I'm like, I'm waiting for call my parents' house if that's what you want to do. Which, by the way, also
don't even do that. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone until my name's called. Then you can send a T9 text. Then you can call.
Watch the TV.
But don't do it when you know I'm going to be looking at my phone directly for any call to come in here.
Oh, there's the phantom buzzes that you're feeling. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, is it charged? Is it charged?
Is it charged? Did this call come in? Did I press a button? Did I hang up accidentally? What's going to happen to me?
Yeah, that's good. Good stuff, man.
Joshua Perry, he joins us coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Traffic is slow because of crashes. There's an accident I-670 westbound between US 33 and I-70. The 2 left lanes are blocked here on the north side. There's an accident on I-71 northbound at North Broadway. The right lane is blocked here. And US 23 northbound at I-270 on the south side. Your left lane is blocked by a crash. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Take action with Logan Services. Get up to $900 off a Train furnace and up to $1,500 off a Train air conditioner. Plus, free duct cleaning on qualifying systems. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up tomorrow at this very time, Uncle Bo, he's going to join us. We'll talk some brownies in the draft with him. As for now, though, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our guy. He is Joshua Perry. JP, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. 14 Buckeyes taken in the draft. Ties a school record. Didn't quite get to 15 to tie the all-time record set by Georgia. But all in all, a very successful weekend for the Ohio State program in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing here what's going on, and speaks to a lot of things. First off, the young men that were just drafted, awesome people. We watch their careers. They fought through a lot, really fantastic. But development from Ohio State, we know what it is, and it's been like that for a very long time. But just to see not only the amount of guys, but all the different position groups were covered. Everybody on the defensive line, linebacker going to the secondary, offensive line, wide receiver, running back, quarterback, like literally anything that you could want to do, come to Ohio State and you can do it at the highest level. So everybody associated with the program should be proud. I'm certainly proud as somebody who played there, but watching this weekend was awesome.
It was, and the Friday night, I think the Thursday night, getting 4 first-rounders. I mean, Joshua, I was looking at that. I thought if they get 2, that'll be pretty good. But the volume of this is going to be in the depth. You start looking, they had 7 picks go and about 40, 30 picks there from, 19 to 47. And then ultimately, I think in the top, 100 some, you had 10 guys go as well, which was wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. And this was one of the more interesting drafts. People have talked about it. When you're talking about like surefire, future all pros, it didn't necessarily feel like that, but there were a ton of great players in this draft. And so it felt like one of those scenarios where if a team fell in love with somebody, they would pull the trigger on them. And you start to look at the guys from Ohio State and particularly their personal character and their football character. And I'm not really surprised that as the first round started going on that they pulled the trigger on some guys. Like Emeka was a guy who I think a lot of us saw as first-round talent. Maybe some of the NFL people said not as explosive, flashy of an athlete as what they look at. But You know he's going to be productive. You know he's going to put the work in. That makes a lot of sense. And so just that's an example. But, their character as people, as players makes a lot of sense. And then looking at the second round, too, the way the running backs started flying off, Q and Trey, that was awesome to see. I think both those guys are going to have stellar careers. So it was definitely the idea that those guys probably were some of the more impressive people they got to spend time with. And if you look at the story of each of their careers at Ohio State, it would make a lot of sense.
JP is fascinating because we've been talking about this all morning long. When you look at Buckeyes taken in the draft, Jack Sawyer to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 123, it just makes sense. It just makes more sense than like anything in this draft maybe this year.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was funny. I was talking to my dad about the draft over the weekend, and he had mentioned that. And we're both just like, he's a Tomlin guy, right? Like, he is a guy who it feels like those two go together, from the work and how he gets it done. What it means to be in Pittsburgh and what it means to be a Steeler. Now, I know there are a lot of people in the state of Ohio who don't like the Steelers, so they're going to have to come around to that, which is perfectly fine. I think it's a great fit. I think it's a great spot for him. I'm certainly excited to see what it looks like there.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see some of these guys play. Cody Simon going in the 4th, Joshua. I thought that was – I'm not going to be critical because I love Cody, but I thought that was maybe on the higher end for him. It was awesome to see him come off that early with Arizona. And for a guy that maybe we start talking like physical traits, like – gifted, but maybe not the most crazy athletic guy that you're going to find, going that high, both him and Lathan in the 4th round. I kind of view those guys as similar type of players, as very intelligent, always in the right spot, great communicators. And to see those guys get drafted both in the 4th as well, with the right there just before Jack, I think kind of speaks to maybe the value that they can provide as leaders off the field as well.
Yeah, I look at the 4th round as actually a really good spot for them. I feel like what teams are doing right now is, like, obviously first round they're going for just, like guys that can start right now, premium athlete, all the different things have to click. Second round you're looking for a lot of the same thing and maybe more of a value setting. But like we watched in the 3rd round where it's like now teams are going straight for upside. Like, they feel like a 3rd round pick is something they're willing to part with for a guy that has just a ton of upside. And if it doesn't work, they didn't invest entirely too much. I think in the 4th round right now, people are looking at, like, who are some really good football players that maybe don't have all of the physical tools and all of the flash, but we know they can play ball. And I feel like that's where those guys are falling in line. So when I saw Toby come off the board, I felt like it made a lot of sense. Didn't feel like it was too early at all for me. The same thing with Lathan. Both of those guys, to me, are people that I would want on my football team, because if I'm drafting, I can't necessarily say that I want to draft too much off of potential. Potential gets you fired, because those are players who aren't actually good right now. They can be good, but they're not. You look at Cody, you look at Lathan. Those are two really good football players, so I think the value is right on them.
He is Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. Your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders going to the Browns, JP? I saw you had some tweets about that over the weekend.
Yeah, dude. And Browns fans were getting on me, and it was hilarious because somebody was like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about with Browns quarterbacks. He could be the next Otto Graham. And I'm like, yes, give me a guy from the 40s as your example of great Browns quarterbacks. That is awesome stuff right there. It is one of the most unique things that I've ever seen. The slide for Shedeur, and I think we can all basically say the reason right now. It's not that everybody's like, oh, he's not that good of a football player. There's no scenario in my mind where Dylan Gabriel and Jalen Milroe are getting drafted before Shedeur Sanders, just off of football players, right? This is about what it means to be Shedeur and his father not doing him any favors at all, and him not hiring an agent, and just the way that they mismanaged this thing for probably a year and a half or so. I mean, Deion was out there talking for a while about how they're going to pick the spot and all these different things. That just didn't help. And as much as the NFL will try to make excuses for some of the nastiest things in the world, you can hit women, you can endanger children as long as you're a great football player, but don't disrupt my locker room. So that's how we got there. So that was wild in and of itself. But then you have the Browns also taking Dylan Gabriel earlier in the draft and then trading away 2 picks to go get Shedeur. This is what's crazy about the whole scenario. It's one of the wildest things I've seen from top to bottom. How Shedeur got there and then how the Browns went and got him. It's nuts. But we'll see. I mean, they've got a quarterback room that's got a lot of guys. They're all very different guys. I have no idea who the hell is going to be the starter. There is literally going to be an open competition. But it was crazy to watch that thing unfold. And really, I would extrapolate it from just a football topic to, like, this was pop culture. My wife hates football. She especially hates watching the draft. And she was sitting there with me on day 3 of the draft because she was curious where Shedeur Sanders was going to go. That's how big of a story this is.
So, and I've talked to a number of people about this, and I love just getting the same question and hearing different perspectives on it, because there's 3 things that have happened. I think some of it can be, blend across all of them. But to me, there's 3 reasons why Shedeur slid. Number 1, either there was a gap in the perceived talent that what he had by the media, and whether maybe they're not to give their full opinion on him, and what the NFL actually viewed him, which I don't know if he was a first-round pick, but like you said, Josh, when you start sliding and there's other quarterbacks going, then there's other questions that arise. How much of it was Shedeur, like, you managed to mismanaging of the process? He's going and meeting with teams. Like, was he fully engaged? We've heard things about that. He seemed aloof, maybe a little bit arrogant. And then just the fact, thirdly, that Deion was his dad. And if you had to look at those 3 things and kind of how Deion has acted during this, which do you think was the biggest contributing factor?
I think I would go with the last one. And I feel like people, on TV have avoided the prime conversation, and I get it because a lot of those guys know him and they don't want to alienate him, whatever the case is. But it was wild. Just for how long he had basically been like, my kid's a top 5 pick, and we're going to control the process, try to be like what the Mannings did with Eli. And I just don't think that works right now. And it's not a good scenario to put yourself in. And I don't want to make this sound like Prime is a bad guy, because I think some people are trying to do that. I think he's a dad who really loves his son. But at some point, you also have to realize that loving your kid is kind of letting go and letting them do their own thing, right? And so, that's how we got here. So I would say that. The other part about it, though, in terms of Shedeur as a player, he does a lot of things really well, but he doesn't have a singular elite trait. There's not one thing that he's elite at. He's not a very dynamic athlete. His arm isn't super strong. Like, there's not just that thing where you say, bam, this is the upside. This is the thing that really scares people. And so I think that hurt his value just off of being a football player. But you start to add in, Shedeur maybe, as you said, being a little bit aloof and handling this maybe without the seriousness that other prospects did. And then, of course, Prime being there. And the other part, people want to say that Prime's going to take an NFL job if Shedeur's team is bad, even though the dude just signed for $10 million at Colorado, which nobody else would give him anywhere else. Like, all those things really matter in this scenario.
JP, you're the best. Have a fantastic week. Always appreciate it. We'll check in again next Monday, all right?
All right. Appreciate you guys.
There you go. So our guy, Joshua Perry, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Traffic is stop and go because of an accident on US 23 northbound at I-270 south side. Your left lane is blocked, and you're stop and go from London Groveport Road. On the north side, I-71 northbound at North Broadway. The crash here is blocking the right lane. You're on the brakes from I-670. And we do have a crash on I-670 westbound between US 33 and I-70. The 2 left lanes are blocked. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
We've all been there. You come home after a long day, only to find water dripping from the ceiling. Your roof has decided it's had enough. And now frustration sets in. Another unexpected problem added to your never-ending to-do list. At Newman Roofing, we get it. That's why we make the process simple and stress-free, handling every detail with professionalism, so you don't have to worry and can get back to the things that matter most to you. So, how do you begin? Step 1. Schedule your free estimate by calling our office at 614-NEW-ROOF or visiting our website, newmanroofing.com. Step 2. Meet with one of our trusted representatives who will guide you through the best plan for your home. Step 3, we get to work, and you watch your roof transform before your very eyes. Whether it's your roof, gutters, or siding, the Newman Roofing team is here to guide and support you every step of the way. Call today at 614-NEW-ROOF to schedule your free estimate and experience the Newman Roofing difference. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Stanley spent his life in the saddle, wrangling whatever life threw at him. But nothing prepared him for the fight against low T and ED. Shane practically hunched him over. Online pills just gave him a headache. He begged for a lifeline.
Well, maybe it's over.
Columbus Men's Clinic said no. Medical conditions, old age, there's hope. This is about real treatments. Science, not one-size-fits-all guesswork. Columbus Men's Clinic was designed for men who hate going to the doctor. Personalized plans, cutting-edge treatments, overseen by an actual medical provider that takes the time to listen. With low T and ED treatments others only dream about, we fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Because every second you wait, your condition could worsen. Act now. Don't let time slip away. Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation is only $99, including blood work. And you'll know your T level before you leave. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And bet and reduce juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
The Fan has been ranked as the second best sports station in America by our industry peers. Our heartfelt thank you is in order. But we're not doing it because we're better than that hillbilly Birmingham station that came in first. Thanks for nothing.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
Great show today. Joshua Perry, Spencer Holbrook, Bill Bender, they all joined us, talking all kinds of different stuff about the NFL draft. You can always go back and listen to the podcast, and our Morning Juice podcast is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. You can use promo code JustSports for a welcome bonus of up to $100 anywhere you get your podcast from. You can go listen to that. I was reading a report about the prank phone call situation, Bob. You know, just trying to do a little more digging on that because we had a lot of questions.
We did. Are you give an update on the phone situation?
So what makes this situation particularly concerning is the type of phone used, a special device issued by Boost Mobile specifically for draft communication.
Yeah, so that was because I texted one of my friends who has been in the NFL front office for 20 years, and he goes, I'm not aware that the NFL does that. And then he goes, maybe it was a promotional thing. And Breer goes, I think it was a promotional deal through Boost Mobile.
Okay, so that's it said a prank phone call Shedeur received included a conversation between him and his brother Shiloh, how it happened, a specific phone that had been sent to him on behalf of Boost Mobile. So it wasn't an NFL-issued phone. It was a promotional thing only to be used for draft communications. And I read that as that was just an NFL-issued phone. Obviously, that was not the case. Here's the kicker on the whole part. So Tyler Warren, who was tight end for Penn State, he ends up going first round to the Indianapolis Colts, correct? Is where he went?
Yeah.
Said, I'm told, this is from Jordan Schultz, confirmed that first-round pick Tyler Warren was also prank called during the draft. He said, I'm told Warren's can't believe it was the same number and or area code involved with the Shedeur Sanders prank on Friday night as well. NFL teams have access to these numbers, and it's clear someone passed it along, whether to family or friends.
Yeah.
That call to Tyler Warren could have also been the same number that the defensive coordinator for the Falcons' son apparently gave to his buddies.
Well, it's good. I mean, you just want to share the love a little bit. Spread some of the love around, Beam.
Right? That's what you want to do.
I don't want to do it just to Shedeur. I mean, like, let's get...
Yeah, come on. Let's get everybody involved in here.
It wasn't as bad because Ty Warren was drafted 14th overall. So, like, okay, no harm, no foul.
I'm still going to go.
But I guess this has been happening for a while, and I think this is maybe why Boost got involved with this, and they do these promotions now for the phones. But, yeah. It's pretty interesting to say the least. Peter.
Yeah, I think so for sure, man. Yeah, it's just crazy how all that happens. I mean, the fact that you have an NFL defensive coordinator's son, like, in a video prank calling someone is outlandish.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, man.
I don't either.
It's, yeah, like you said, it's pretty wild to see that is how that went down and how that ultimately happened. So, yeah, not a great situation.
Was Boost Mobile the ones who created the chirp? Remember that? Were they the ones with the chirp on their phone like a decade ago, 15 years ago?
I don't know what the chirp means.
Shark, do you know what I'm talking about with the chirp? It was like not a call, but it was like almost like a walkie-talkie, but like with a cell phone.
That was Nextel, the two-way?
Nextel, thank you.
The two-ways?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah, I had a couple buddies that had the two-ways.
It's just a walkie-talkie is all it is.
Yeah, I mean, long distance. But I could never understand anybody when they talked to them. That's what it sounded like to me. I'm like, how are you hearing? What are you hearing?
It's like you're disseminating a call coming in from whether you're an offensive guy or defensive guy, coordinator with helmet comms. It's kind of how that sounded.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no...
Oh, that is very similar. I joked with them. I'm like, who does this? Nextel? Like, is this the two-way comms that we have here? It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, if you don't know what T9 texting is, our boss just asked us, what is it? What are you talking about? I9, T9 texting? How good were you at the end with T9 texting? I got pretty good where I didn't even need to look at my phone and I knew what it was.
So, like, it would kind of produce the word. It's kind of like the autocorrect now with the iPhone. You know, you'd press it and you could go to the next one, and instead of having to click through like all 3 letters per number, it would kind of do it for you.
I was great at it.
I mean, that was the earliest form of AI, Beam.
That was it. Yeah, predictive technology and what you want to say. I would always be texting in school during it and not even having to look at my phone because I'd have to have the phone raised up underneath the desk so the teacher couldn't see that you were texting your buddies about what you wanted to do for lunch later on in the day.
Lunch lady land.
Yeah, love a T9 texting. I miss those lunches, man. Go back, you get 50 minutes to leave school just in the middle of the day, just to go. It's you and your boys just hanging out, going to Subway for lunch. It's great times.
You guys had open lunch at Centerville?
We did have open lunch.
See, we didn't have open lunch.
Yeah, we had open lunch.
And at Arlington, they did for a long time, and I guess they just redid it, and so they did away with it when they built a new high school. I don't think people were very happy. I mean, I would have only gotten in trouble with an open lunch, I'm going to be honest with you, especially like this time my senior year. Open lunch might as well just be like, I don't know.
The best part about my senior year in high school, so I had the first 3 periods of the day was like math, science, English.
Yeah.
4th period, I had study hall. 5th period was lunch, and study hall was basically just an open period where you would go, especially at that point, Bob, like you would just kind of do whatever you wanted to. You could go study wherever in the school that you did. So I would take 2 periods for lunch, and then 6th and 7th.
You could just roam around during study?
You could just roam.
Centerville sounds like it's like Shangri-La.
You could just roam around. It was great. So I'd go into the radio room because then in 6th and 7th period, I had radio class. So once I got through like 10 o'clock in the morning, my day was basically over.
See, I was never on the yearbook staff, but people that were in the Mirage staff yearbook, they'd go up there and they had their own private room. Mm-hmm. And the teacher who was in charge of it was teaching all day. And so there'd usually be some shenanigans that were going on up there.
That was like our radio room.
Yeah. Lots of nonsense and things that shouldn't be happening in school.
Happening in school. Before we get out of here today.
On company property, with company property.
That's double jeopardy. I'm sorry. What is Double Jeopardy? Our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan is sponsored by Caster Connection. Who will be the starting quarterback for the Browns in the 2025 season opener? Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders. I don't know why you left off Deshaun Watson off this list. I mean, his road to recovery has gone so well. I don't know. I would think if I'm a wagering man right now that Joe Flacco will be your week 1 starter.
I would think so, unless one of those rookies blows him away. I can't imagine. Like Dylan Gabriel, I think you kind of know what he is. I thought Dylan Gabriel should be a 5th rounder, and if you took Shedeur in the 3rd, that's great. The problem is, are you going to take a quarterback then next year as well? Which there's also the possibility of that.
Because don't forget, they loaded up on the 1st round with that trade to the Jags. They've got 2 first-rounders this year.
Yeah, but
next year.
Question is, Shark, will they be bad enough that they can get a quarterback high, or will they have to package those picks?
They can draft 2 more quarterbacks in the first 5 picks.
Is that what you want to do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, get as many quarterbacks in the roster as you can.
The theory isn't far off.
Remember I talked to you about this. It was when they had, was it 1 and 4? Maybe it was the year they drafted.
There's just been so many.
It was the year they
was Baker and Denzel.
And I said, why don't we just draft Baker and Darnold? Pick 2, and let them battle it out. I mean, ironically, out of that draft, Baker was probably the 2nd best guy, and then Lamar was the 3rd. Lamar was the 1st. Or actually, Josh Allen. They could have got Josh Allen in there. So they could
Lamar in that draft too.
Lamar was in that draft. I mean, they had some options, but here's the reality of it. Would those guys have been as good if they were in Cleveland?
I guess we'll never know.
It's a beautiful mystery.
Bob, I had so much fun today. What do you say we reconvene on a big Tuesday if they allow us? You good with that?
Let's do it.
Everybody have an awesome day. Uncle Bo and the boys, they're up next. All kinds of good stuff and draft reaction, including Ben Baby. Going to join them at 9:30. We'll talk some Bengals. We're back live tomorrow morning. Everybody have a great day. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
And traffic is stop and go on the north side due to an accident on I-71 northbound at North Broadway. Your right lane is blocked. Also on I-670 westbound between US 33 and I-70. Your 2 left lanes are blocked, so you're on the brakes from State Route 315. And US 23 northbound at I-270 on the south side. Your left lane is blocked. I'm Heather Pasco for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
They will resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He had heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts today at Low T Center for a free consultation and free test. The treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurance is accepted. And you'll get the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. The offer is limited, so book now at FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And now through April 30th, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets. Jim?
Up things are down, down things are up.
Sounds like things
You
are...
don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh yeah, Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner last years longer.
Good to know Apex Pros keeps things stable and predictable.
That's on my pants, too. This is the worst day. This is historic, you know that.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.